Know the story with ABC News Digital. Get the latest breaking news with live notifications whenever you want, wherever you are.
They are considering going to zero emissions.
We'll go ahead as planned.
And abruptly ended the case.
It will help us all get back to normal and back to all the things that we love.
Those are the kind of things that work.
There's hope for a brighter future.
ABC News, Australia's most trusted news source. Head to news.abc.net.au or download the ABC News app.
The 2022 AFL Premiership season.
Grandstand AFL.
On ABC Radio and ABC Sport Digital.
If you're feeling the chill this winter, hope you can feel the warmth of the Gold Coast. Sun beating down. It's a picture postcard. Saturday afternoon, which will roll into Saturday evening footy here. Welcome to Carrara, Quentin Hull and the team with you for Grandstand AFL. And we've had a warm and fuzzy week for the Gold Coast Suns, securing the future of Stuart Dew through to 2024. But all that will be forgotten as the Suns fight for their finals future this afternoon off the back of a couple of heartbreaking losses. Here last week to Collingwood by 5 points, a couple of weeks ago going down by 2 points to Port Adelaide in Adelaide, which means the Suns are 7th and 8th and starting to drop behind in the chase to make their first ever finals series. No rest for Richmond, it must be said as well, coming here 9 and 6, having beaten West Coast by 35 points last week at the MCG to bounce back from their narrow loss to Geelong. And there's some late team news here as well, with Jack Ross out with a knee injury and Thompson Dow comes into the team. So that sees another of the key experienced Tigers go out. No Dustin Martin, no Kane Lambert, no Nick Floston. Josh Gibcus is out ill as well. Among the positives, though, for the Tigers, Dion Prestia will make his return to senior footy after having a week off from that highly publicised clash with Tom Stewart during the loss to the Cats. And for the Gold Coast Suns, a couple of players in COVID protocols, Isaac Rankin and Oleg Markov not playing. James Cheetahs, who made his debut last week, has been dropped. And Connor Butterick, terrible news coming through this week that he has redone the right knee that he had reconstructed in the last 18 months. So 4 changes for the Suns. Jack Lukosius is among the inclusions. Sam Day is back. Jeremy Sharp and Braden Fiorini as well. And it looks like a Richmond home game in the stands. There is yellow and black everywhere. So you'd expect that the Tigers, who have fond memories of this part of the world, unbeaten during that COVID-impacted season at this venue here in 2020, where they even selected to play a final here against St Kilda. It's not as foreign territory as it used to be for the Tigers in this part of the world. Great to have former All-Australian and Melbourne Club champion Jeff White. How are you, Whitey?
Hey, Q. Yeah, good. Going well.
And the 2001 Brownlow medalist, 3-time premiership player, Jason Ackermanis, also in the experts chair. Acker, how are you?
Mate, I'm well, Q-Ball. Got a great day. I played golf this morning, and now you come up here, there has not been a cloud in the sky, hardly a breath of wind. It is, and look at the deck. It looks dry and fast.
Absolutely pristine conditions for football as Dylan Grimes is about to go and shake the hand of Tuke Miller in the centre of the ground, and the toss is going to be affected. Expecting upwards of 18,000 fans here, and certainly there is a big Tigers feel in the house. Michael Price is going to be calling the action alongside me. Pricey, nice to be in your company. You look to the sunshine of the Eastern Stand at the moment, and I'm trying to find where, apart from the red of the seats, I can see plenty of yellow. Where's the yellow and red for the Suns? It's all yellow and black out there.
Well, it's on the outer side. It is definitely Tiger territory. Underneath the stand here on the commentary box wing, in the shade, the corporate, that's where you've got all of the Suns supporters, and they're bubbling away. They're expecting a very close game today, and so am I. I think Richmond, well, it's one of those cliches. Both teams have to win to cement going forward in the season 2022.
Love to have you as a part of the day at the footy. You can get in touch on the SMS 0437 774 774. That's 0437 774 774. There's all mathematicals that we can get into, but let's just talk football reality. Is this the last chance salon for the Suns today if they are to keep this finals dream alive in 2022?
Oh, it's been obviously, the last 2 weeks they just couldn't get over the line, but this is very important for them, Q.
I think they'll be fine. I think they are the last 2 games, forgetting the result, they're playing great footy and they won't be underconfident at all. Playing Richmond here, big crowd for Richmond, as you know, but hey, that's not going to worry them. I think they're really enjoying this little patch in front of the big crowds.
Who are you tipping, Jason?
Gold Coast.
Jeff?
I'm going Richmond.
Okay. What a contest ahead of us. A really salivating Carrara twilight affair in perfect conditions. Michael Price gets us underway.
So, umpire with a perfect bounce. Umpire Mollison gets it down. Wits. Only to the feet of Bolton for Richmond. He tracks the ball out to the commentary wing. Pickett enters the fray. Handball over his head. Bolton with a deft little tap to Dan Rioli. Handball now back to Broad. He loops one closer to the boundary line, cut off by the Suns. Ainsworth now. Little chipping pass, dangerous, but finds his teammate in Nick Coleman right in front of the ABC commentary box.
Hands it back to Ainsworth. Hand pass inboard turned over. Baker picks it up for the Tigers at half back. Hand pass puts Pickett in trouble. Rides a tackle. Got a hand pass to Broad. Hands it to Dan Rioli. Still on half back. Loops it over the top. Tried to hand it to Broad. Didn't find him, so Rioli cleans up his mess. Gave the hand pass to Graham. Hands to Prestia. And now the kick, but it's straight down the throat of Ballard at half back. That was a dump rush kick from the ex-Sun, Dion Prestia, and Ballard is going to kick defensively to Ellis. There's a lot of X's out there tonight. Yeah. There's more than the famous Queensland Brewery. Ex-Suns, ex-Tigers playing across different teams as Miller from half-back kicks it to, and that's Touk Miller. There's 2 of those. Brad Miller, of course, playing, Ben, should I say, playing for Richmond as Touk Miller kicks it to the wing, and the Suns transfer it to half-forward. It was marked by Swallow. Swallow kicks it to Ainsworth. He's a kick and a half from goal.
Good pressure early, both teams.
Ainsworth, long kick to full forward. Casbolt, the target, couldn't take the mark. Will Rove in the pocket, does Swallow. Hand passes to Holman. Holman gets it to his boot, and the Suns get the first. Numbers goal side for Gold Coast. At that ball coming inside 50, and Nick Holman kicks the first of the afternoon.
I think you'll find it was the deft tap from
Marvio Child.
Marvio Child. Look at this in the replay. Just beautiful out to the advantage of his teammate there. I think was that Swallow over to Holman. Holman, good finish. Under pressure, though. It's not going to be easy to get touches tonight, Whitey.
I think it all started with, there's Swallow giving the hands. I can't believe the Suns got the ball to half-back line. Swallow was on the wing by himself. He had no one near him. So the defensive switch from Richmond was really, really poor. Allowed them to go inside forward 50. And then Liam Baker was on Levi Casbolt. He was the one that brought it to ground. So we'll tidy up that defensive pressure there from the Tigers.
Once again, we're back into the middle. Bolton slaps it forward into the hands of Short, hooks it around his body. Morris Rioli Jr. slaps it forward back into the centre square. Now it's towed inside 50 for Richmond. Revolt approaches. Caleb Graham didn't pick the ball up. Edwards could. In the pocket, he's corralled. He opens up the eyes and beautiful kick. Comes back to Marlon Pickett, 30 metres out, directly in front. Good sharing of the ball from the Tigers.
You think out of the centre too, Whitey, they're looking a little bit more, it was a little sharper, the Richmond Footy Club.
Number 50, game 50.
Yeah, not bad for number 50, game 50. We're making his debut in a grand final in 2019, of course.
It's outrageous, isn't it?
Absolutely outrageous when he only got drafted midway through that year. Marlon Pickett comes through. Registers the first for the Tigers. 1 goal apiece, 3 minutes gone. First term on Grandstand AFL.
Good response from the Tigers then. But the ability to keep it alive in the forward line as well. Great work by Rewalt, just to keep his feet, just get the energy, and a great switch by Edwards back in the middle.
Haven't had much of a lead in, but just a thought or two. Does the re-signing of Stuart Dew have any impact this week for the players?
Good for Shuey. I think the players are pretty happy. They were happy. Yeah. They've been happy all year here. We've been talking to them. They're wrapped with the side.
I think it also calms things down, Q. It doesn't matter whether you win or lose. Of course they want to win, but it's not that external pressure anymore.
Sick of talking about it, I reckon.
Yeah.
Well, a goal apiece to start here. If you have just joined us, Collingwood coming from 28 points down late in the third quarter to beat North Melbourne by 7 points at the MCG. Bounces a bit wobbly in the middle. Ump lets it go as the ruckman tangle, rove by Miller of the Suns. Hand passes to Anderson, kicks it to half forward. Chol gets rid of Grimes to win the football. Hand passes to Swallow. Defensive hand pass to Sharp from 60. Off a step, kicks it to full forward. Off the pack, Casbolt flew, couldn't mark. Ball to ground level. Rowell won the ball. Hand pass out the back to Ainsworth. He'll snap to the goal mouth. Out the back, Chol's picked it up. He's marked, he swivels, he snaps, he goals. Willed himself to the football, Big Mab Chol. And the former Tiger gets the Suns second, 2 straight to 1 straight. And what a story it's been for Mabior Chol back in closer proximity to his family, a man that openly loved his time at Richmond. Here he is again them today and picking up an early goal.
I'm calling this now. This is going to be a shootout. This is fast pace. Any side that gets it out of the middle, they're into their forward line looking dangerous.
Well, Ainsworth with the snap there was partially smothered. Big Charlie just went up, took the chest mark. He took out his teammate as well and then chucked it on the right slipper. Great goal. He gets 8 touches a game when he averages nearly 3 goals. He's having a very good resurgence.
What I'm loving here too, Q, is these 2 big dinosaurs, Witts and Nankervis, are just going at each other.
2 inside 50s to 1, 2 goals to 1. And here's the clearance. Tuke Miller for the Gold Coast. Inside 50, bouncing ball towards Day. He can't quite pick it up. Robbie Tarrant injects himself for the Tigers. He lets loose the ball. They're still under pressure, the Tigers. They come through Nathan Broad. Gets the handball chopped off. It's just outside defensive 50 for the Tigers. Big Neck can't get his hands down there. A couple of bodies on top.
Free kick.
The umpire's called the free kick there. It will come up. It's going to go to Dan Rioli at left half back. He was underneath that pack and he was dealt with unfairly.
High contact on Daniel Rioli, just shading his eyes from the last remnants of this setting sun, which is out on the half-back flank on the Nerang River side. Rioli chips it infield to Tarrant. And now Robbie Tarrant will kick the Tigers long to the Nerang River wing. In front, though, was looking for McIntosh. Ballard got to the front of his opponent, takes the mark for the Suns.
Oh, he's hit.
And is going to kick it backwards to Ellis. Brandon Ellis for Gold Coast against Richmond.
Former Tiger.
It's his 50th game for the Gold Coast today, though, so it's a minor milestone for his new life as a football player. Kicks it to the left half back flank where Bowes marks, completes the transfer to the wing where Ainsworth presents and takes the grab. And the Suns have moved it to halfway successfully. What from here? Ben Ainsworth with his right boot will kick to a contest at half forward. Chol crashes in, can't mark. Roving though for the Suns is Flanders. Got a hand pass down to Miller. Rush kick to half forward, met by Broad of the Tigers. He's tackled by Swallow. Got a hand pass free. Baker picks up. Hand pass too hot for Dow, the injected player for the injured Ross. Tigers still have it on the wing though. Castagna now creates with a hand pass to Short. A bounce through the centre square and he kicks it to Lynch. This has got more X's than days of our lives. Here is Tom Lynch, and listen to the reaction.
Well, weren't happy with that departure, and he's gone on to win a few flags and been outstanding as he's gone to the Tigers. But
played in 37 wins in his 8 years at the Gold Coast, Tom Lynch. He's 3.5 years in at Richmond. He's played in 48 wins.
It's unjust as he comes in to kick. He's a beautiful kick at the ball, particularly from this distance. I like his technique.
2-time best and fairest winner here and 4-time leading goal kicker at the Suns. But a 2-time premiership Tiger, and he's missed that, Tom Lynch, to the right. It's lucky to score. Behind, Gold Coast 2 straight. Richmond 1-1, 8 minutes played.
I think if Richmond fans get a sniff of the boos, they're going to start cheering a bit louder, I reckon, when he gets the ball.
Good for the theatre, though, isn't it?
Oh, it's great.
We might get a fair sniff of that coming up very shortly, Jeff. I think he's going to get a fair bit of the ball as Tom Lynch is. Jack Bowes for the Gold Coast plays on from full-back. Long kick down the outer wing. Tarrant rises over the pack, fists it forward. Beautifully roved there by Bolton. Half tackled and got a speculating handball forward. It was cut off by Lemons. He loses it. Ralph Smith enters, gets it inside 50 with a handball to Edwards. Under pressure, he scoops it out to Dow. Dow tackled, lets loose the ball. The Suns will get away from half-back. It's a long kick from Ballard, but it's a kick for territory only. There's 3 Tigers going back there, Q, and they've got all the space in the world.
It's Robbie Tarrant first to meet it. Left half-back. He'll kick Richmond down the wing. Precise pass marked by Ralph Smith. And he just has to hold up on halfway on the outer side.
Fair head of hair, hasn't he there, Ralph Smith?
Hugo Ralph Smith, indeed. That hair flowing, he drives a right boot towards attacking 50 in a pack. Off hands, Castagna Rose for the Tigers. Hand pass to Prestia. He'll be the X to kick the Tigers next. No, across the face and through for a behind. And a quick injection from the Suns to the pocket, marked by Fiorini. It's 2 straight to 1-2, Gold Coast in front.
4 points the margin. The Gold Coast Suns just sharing the ball around in defensive 50 now. It's with Noah Anderson with his back 40 metres from his own defensive goal. He chips to left half back to find Jack Bowes.
They're spreading wide here, Pricey.
And they chip back in laterally across the half-back line to Ellis, and then they're back into the corridor. Collins up to just short of the centre circles, and David Swallow. Beautiful running from Ainsworth. But how about the pass from Swallow? Ainsworth plays on inside 50 and finds a teammate in young Jeremy Sharp, who was just nudged over after he took a chest mark, and that was a crowd 50.
That was beautiful movement from the Suns. Just a lateral movement and the ability to kick it back into the middle and play on. That's the key. If you've got to switch it, play on.
7 touches in the first 10 minutes for Ben Ainsworth.
Well, I really like him. I was going to say 2 calls ago how good and I really love his work rate, his spread. When he's up and about, I reckon the Gold Coast, he's almost a barometer for him, just how well he works in that midfield.
Well, Liam Baker's on him.
So Jeremy Sharp, one of 4 changes for the Gold Coast Suns today, comes in from 30 metres, slight angle to the right. He's pushed it right as well. 1 behind results, 2-1-13, plays 1-2-8. It's a 5-point margin to the Suns, with 10.5 going to the first term on Grandstand AFL.
So far from Sharp shooting from the 20-year-old there. And it's going to be Grimes to bring the ball back in for the Tigers, very short to Broad.
They're going one-on-one here, Q.
Broad's going to play on from forward to full back. Runs to almost D50 to drive a right boot down towards the wing. Ballard third in front of Soldo, punches it away. Oh, there's some mean looks about that mark-up. Soldo on Collins there.
Look him on down with that moustache. But they are going one-on-one out of the kick-out. So Richmond, see if they change that in the second quarter.
Jason Ackermanis with you on Grandstand AFL. Boundary throw in through centre wing. Soldo nudges Witts away from the drop, but it's rowed by Tuke Miller of the Suns. Kicks it from the wing to half forward on the head of Casbolt. Spoiled by Tarrant. Tarrant tries to rove, can't pick up. Day comes through for the Suns. Hand pass turned over. Stolen by Pickett of Richmond. Hand pass to the wing, turned over too. Picked up by Ellis. He kicks towards Chol. Marks it. 35 metres out directly in front. 1 stick. Great grab.
That is a bad matchup for Richmond at the moment. I don't think that's going to work. But they're undersized a little bit down there with their tools, and Charles just got that. If he gets a run and jump, boys, they're not going to be able to stop him.
There's no one can stop him. I think the big out for Richmond at the moment is Foster. He's such a... He's just a quarterback down there. Big loss for Richmond.
Already kicked 1. Nab Charles only played in the 1 final in his time at Richmond, and that was the loss to Brisbane in 2020. From straight in front on his left boot, that's a poor miss to the left. Behind, a goal the difference at 2-2 to 1-2, 12 minutes played.
Just watch here, man on man here.
Richmond to bring the ball out quickly. It's taken by Nathan Broad in the pocket. He hits teammate in Liam Baker at right half back.
And Tom Lynch just doing some run-throughs on the bench, Pricey.
Yeah, he's just been taken off, and they're having a bit of an assessment of him as the ball goes over the boundary line just in front of us in the Grandstand commentary box.
Do we have Jess today, or is anyone in the boundary?
No, we don't today, Jason, unfortunately.
Having holiday, sorry.
No, she got stuck on the M1 with the rest of us, I think. The throw in. Soldo from behind Withs just fisted it towards the boundary line. It's kept in for Richmond, but Dow takes it over right in front of us.
Speaking of absent boundary riders, so we didn't plan to have one today. The host television broadcaster doesn't have a broadcaster here because Alistair Lynch apparently has had a shocking run to try and get back from Sydney last night, your old mate.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Stuck there.
Flight's terrible. I've heard rumour that he had to get a train to Newcastle and fly there. He's expected here after quarter time, and the ball goes back over the boundary line near that vacant chair. You're probably listening to us, Lynchy. I know you're an ABC fan. Mate, we're missing you. So far, 2-2 to 1-2. Good start by the locals. You'll be able to tell all of the Fox Footy listeners and viewers what's happening by our story of the first term. And
here it goes. Jared Witts into the path of Swallow. Tackle without the ball. Turnover now. Richmond with it on the wing. Hacked forward there by Graham. Rewalt with the fly. Came off hands. Beautifully rode there by Lemons. Outside of the boot. It's going straight to the boundary line. It will go out. It will get paid. There's no real intention of keeping it in, and Richmond will get the free kick. So it's with Marlon Pickett. He's forward of the interchange gates. That makes him 70 from the Richmond goal. Laterally, he finds Broad, who had to pick it up on the half volley. Tackled by Fiorini, holding the ball. Well done from the Suns. Good pressure. Braden Fiorini into the side this week. Will get it at left half back.
2-2 to 1-2. Gold Coast leading it early. Not a great kick from Fiorini. Gave to Flanders, who gives it back to him. Now Fiorini's kicks down the wings even worse. He's kicked it straight to Broad, who marks it for Richmond. Kicks infield and defensively to Short. Jaden Short takes the grab near the AFL logo. Western side of the Carrara wing. He shins his kick forward. It's a floater. Met on attacking 50 by Lemons of the Suns. Gave it to Ellis. Hand pass. Doesn't find a teammate. Picked up by Baker of Richmond. Got high contact. Free kick. Liam Baker flipping that ball over his head. I was mentioning it's been a weird old couple of years for so many circumstances. Richmond at Carrara doesn't feel unfamiliar. They played here 7 times in 2020 and won all 7 games.
Wow.
Here is the number 7. Baker kicking to full forward. Defensive spoil came from Graham. Now Revolt punches it off the volley to the goal mouth, and Edwards Rhodes and kicks another Richmond goal to level the scores. Well, the defensive fist went up in the air, and then Revolt just punched it towards the goal line. How often do we see that from the Tigers? Edwards aware, kicks the goal, levels the scores at 2-2 apiece through 15 minutes on Grandstand AFL.
It's such a strong weapon for them. They always get forward, always forward of the ball. They always have runners. In the event that it goes back the other way, at least they take a risk, and that's more often than not always pays off for them, especially inside forward 50.
Well, they did it earlier in the quarter, Whitey, and they had 3 blokes on the forward side. Really unusual, but to get that one there forward, Revolt, very smart, knows his stuff.
Yep.
Noah Cumberland has been injected into the game. Tom Lynch is out.
Jeez, that was
The sub has been made for Richmond. I'll do some picking, Pricey, to see what's happened there.
Well, let's have a look as it goes back into the middle. Soldo's in the ruck for Richmond, gets it down from Day into the path of Rao, tackled beautifully by Graham into the ground, holding the ball. Tigers free kick in the centre circles. Graham looks to the lead of Revolt. He's got a 2-on-1, jumps early, fisted away from him, beautifully roved out there by Lukosius, but he got tackled off the ball yet again. The pressure from the Tigers good. It came from Rioli over the boundary line.
I'm no physio. I'm going to say it's a hamstring, Q.
That seemed a bit quick, didn't it?
I'm not sure. We'll do some more digging. I'm hearing different analysis of what's gone wrong there. But
16 minutes into the
out.
first quarter, Tom Lynch out of the game, and Noah Cumberland, the sub, has been put in place for Richmond.
Ball on the outer wing. Rao trying to extricate from the contest. Hand pass stolen by Dow, who was the laid in for Ross. Gave the hand pass to Bolton. Kick to half forward. Picked up by Collins of Gold Coast. Kicked it back to the wing. Met by Oya. Couldn't take the mark. Bolton Rose for Richmond. Hand pass to Prestia. Hand to Dan Rioli. Hand to Ralph Smith to 50. Hands it to Castagna to 40. He doesn't go for goal. Chips it to Jack in the pocket. No, it's not Revolt. No, it's the sub. It's Cumberland.
Is that his first game? Is it his first game?
Second game for Noah Cumberland.
Yes, it is Cumberland in the pocket. Plenty happening early on here. And the young lad from the Sunshine Coast has a chance to kick his first goal in league footy on the Gold Coast. His left foot snap is not enough bend on it. It's a point far side, which gives Richmond the lead, 2-3 to 2-2.
He was an interesting pickup. He was from the Brisbane Lions Academy, Noah Cumberland, and Richmond swooped in. And smart. He's a good player as well. Now the Suns coming out. Ballard, 40 from his own goal, chips it outside defensive 50 to the point of the centre square. Noah Anderson, confident enough to have a bounce, gets to the logo, well shepherded from Ellis. Long kick inside 50, Casbolt at front, great fist from Tarrant. Front and square, Holman, he gathers. He's outside 50 now, still weaving his way around. He got the handball away under enormous pressure. Castagna picked it up. He's tackled. Loses it on the point of the centre square at half forward for the Suns. Swallow to the top of the square. Casbolt with one hand, fisted by Tarrant. Almost roved by Soldo. They've got the numbers here, Tigers, but they're under pressure. The big kick comes out. It might come back to them. Ball hits the deck. Bolton now chased by Rao, and he's out.
Bouncing his way through half back, turning over his kick. Kicked it straight to Caleb Graham on the wing for the Suns. He'll kick it back towards half forward. Bowes marks. In space, 60 out, doesn't roll on. Takes a moment. Jack Bowes kicks the Suns to the pocket. Soldo perched in front. Chol made him earn it, but Soldo took the mark. Good crab.
Oh, that was a beauty. He had Chol all over him and hit him hard too, and he kept that mark in check.
So Ivan Soldo kicks it across the face of goal, marked by Tarrant in the right back pocket. Tarrant kicks Richmond beyond defensive 50. A long ball to the half-back flank. McIntosh, the target, close to the boundary line. Fisted away by the spoil of Collins and Ellis. Boundary throw-in. Score check here at Carrara, 19 minutes in. Richmond 2-3-15, leading Gold Coast 2-2-14. But Tom Lynch subbed out after Jack Ross was laid out with a knee. So even more personnel questions about the Tigers who were without Martin, Lambert and Floston today.
The throw in right in front of the grandstand commentary box through the hands of Nan Curvis. Now Swallow picks it up. Tumbling ball towards the top of the square. Chol, and it's Casbolt with the fist to it. It's going to be cut off by Grimes at the goal line. He's corralled and under enormous pressure just has to back over like Homer through the hedge. It's one behind. 2-3-15 apiece, 20 gone, first term.
G'day to Billy Ray in block 228 here at Carrara. He texts, Lynch is out with a broken heart from the booze. 0437 774 774. From Richmond on Twitter, thanks to Adam in the studio, he's out with a hamstring. So our team all over it. Hammy, well done, Jeff. You had that thought as well. Kick towards the wing and a pack. Soldo, the target, couldn't mark. Roved by Collins of the Suns. Hand passes to Bowes. He snaps it back towards half forward. 2-on-1 numbers for Richmond there. Holman was the intended son. Dan Rioli the fist. Grimes was close as well, and the boundary's the ultimate victor. We'll see it thrown in at left half forward for Gold Coast.
A cracking pace this game, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
Oh.
They've made the change too on Chol. McIntosh, no good. They've moved him off him.
So Jack Bowes with 8 disposals, Brandon Ellis with 7, and 7 for Dan Rioli for Richmond as Prestia gets it. Tries to measure a pass down towards Castagna. He manages to keep the ball in. No, he doesn't. The boundary umpire says he just dragged it out. Next to the interchange gates.
I think with the Richmond rucks, I think they're going to play back of centre like Soldo just did then, got in front of Chol. I think they just got to get the big ruckman, just go back and block in the hole.
And the big ruckman go at it again. Now that's Wits in front of Nankervis. Got the slap down. Pickett couldn't quite gather the ball. Anderson now applied the pressure, then grabbed the ball, gave it to Fiorini, the left foot inside 50. Casbolt comes through, cop one across the chops, kept going. Yeah. The umpire from the pocket called that one, but it was one of those just lazy arms.
It was sizest. I think the controlling ump didn't give it to him because he's 110 kilos and 6'5".
Well, doesn't matter how much he weighs. He got it across the chops.
He got it across the chops. He sort of looked at the umpire and didn't know if he was going to call advantage. And by then there was 2 possessions, and then they got the marker, have a shot on goal. I mean, it's pretty confusing if you're a player.
He's chipped it across, and Ben Ainsworth gathers now. He's going to have a shot from 40 out, more or less directly in front.
It's a good kick.
Ben Ainsworth.
It is a great kick.
Has pumped it through for the Gold Coast, and they hit the lead. 22 gone first term. 3-3-21 plays 2-3-15. Grandstand AFL, Michael Price and Quentin Hull with your call and your experts, Jeff White and Jason Ackermanis.
What a quarter Ainsworth is having. Jeez, he's a good player. He's going to play a lot of years here, Whitey.
He is. He's just going up the ground, coming back. Yeah, just his ability to attack and defend.
And plenty happening at the moment. Just getting news through that after Sydney's big win over the Dogs last night, there was a lot of talk about the report from Tommy Papley on Josh Dunkley. The MRO has decided that there is no further sanction for Tom Papley. That's huge news for the Swans off the back of their big win at the SCG last night. So Tommy Papley free to continue playing his part in the Swans' surge to the 8 in 2022. Centre bounce. Suns leading it here by a goal. Bolton tries to kick it off the ground, didn't do so successfully. Nankervis cleans up, hands it to Bolton, hands to Prestia, hands to half forward where Pickett gathers, and now kicks Richmond deep into attack. Ballard's fist is the telling knuckle to see it out of play. Boundary throwing.
I love Ballard in defence. It's in the air, he marks it, or if he's on a bad angle, exactly like that, he'll thump it out.
Yeah, he does, and he's good at it too. He's a good reader of the ball. Jeez, he's got good leap, good hands.
Great in the air, the boy from Sturt. They re-signed him for a couple of years too on the Gold Coast. Throw in right forward pocket for the Tigers. Bolton hard against the boundary line, and he's tackled over by his ex-teammate Brandon Ellis, and Sean Lemons will get another throw in right forward pocket. Tigers pressing, they're trailing by a goal.
I notice we haven't got Bruce Willis this week. They've all got hair.
Well,
these umpires,
the 2 shaven-headed boundary umpires that you love, Acker, neither deployed this evening. Boundary throw in. Witts taps down to Rowell in the back pocket. Shoved off his kick, but nudged it to Bowes, nudged it to Miller. Hand pass went to Fiorini, tackled by Revolt. Gathered by Prestia under the pump. It's a hot footy there. Comes out to Lemons. Rushes it to the wing for the Suns, but the Tigers are there in number. Broad, he gave it to Miller, but that was too hot. That's Ben Miller. He mucked it up. Chance for Ainsworth, pushed off his kick. Tigers ball on the wing. Prestia finds a path among the congestion to drive it deep to full forward. Soldo's got 3 to beat. Couldn't mark, but Bolton Road snaps and goals! That's a great snap moment in some really hot footy, Jeff White and Jason Ackermanis. That levels the scores at 3-3 apiece. This is a tasty morsel through the 24 minutes we've had of it so far.
He just, Shea Bolton just amazes anyone who comes to watch the footy. Watch him in action. That was super clean, on his foot, so quick, but just a body position, just to get in front. Just watching the replay there, and then just to hit it at full pace. Acker must have been a fan of yours, Acker.
You know, the quickest I ever played against was Byron Pickett. No one could ever get the ball on the boot as quick as him. He was amazing.
Good,
and Shea Bolton's right up there.
I'm surprised you brought that up. Nightmares of 2004, Acker?
Oh, no, not for me. I played well.
So we're back into the middle. And Toot Miller with yet another clearance. That's his fourth. Inside 50. Chance for the Suns. It bounces in front of Casbolt. He toes it forward. Rosas gathers. Oh, he's thrown down by Tarrant. Got the handball away. Now Dan Rioli at full tilt. He gives it to Bolton. What a display that is. Handball back to Dan Rioli. Fluent running from the Tigers. Long kick. 3-on-1 inside 50. Rewalt jumped early and he gave away a free kick. It's going to go back to Caleb Graham, the Cairns and Palm Beach Currumbin product for the Gold Coast. He'll take his free kick with 40 metres behind him to his defensive goal.
And looks towards the broadcast wing with a long kick. Witts and Casbolt. Clean clump with Tarrant on his hammer. Takes the mark for the Suns. Kicks infield to Bowes. Edge of the centre square on halfway. Rolls on and runs around. Graham on the mark. Kicks it to full forward. Spoil made there by Miller of Richmond. Roved by Baker. Kicks the Tigers out of defence to half-back. Soldo presents in the space and takes the grab for the Tigers and slows it up for a moment or two. Big Ivan Soldo chips it over the man on the mark to Ralph Smith. Marks near the boundary on the Rank River side. Hand passes to the tattooed Broad. Left foot kick to half forward. Poor kick. Oh, Lemons was there for the Suns. He tapped that straight though to Edwards. Hands it to Morris Rioli. He hands it on to Cumberland, and the Queenslander kicks his first goal in league footy at the second time of asking. On the run from 20 metres out, having been subbed in for Tom Lynch. In his second game, Noah Cumberland, the boy from Maroochydore, puts the Tigers back in front at 4-3 to 3-3.
What a pick up, what a goal. But I think it started down here, that defensive ability for Baker. Jumped it on the left slipper. Soldo's work out the far side, just open up that. But Lemmings down there just put the one arm up. He's a really tough player, and that just allowed them to get easy access to the ball.
It just hurts, doesn't it? I wonder what the talk was around him, you know, if he was just giving the support in the air when he's watching the ball. But, yeah, a good finish by Noah, and congrats to him. First goal in AFL.
He looks really quick.
Number 38, Noah Cumberland. In his second game of league footy.
You know, Alistair Lynch's son's name's Tom Lynch.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
By the way, Lynchy's not here yet either. That's Alistair.
Still on the
It's been a tough day for the Lynches.
Still on the M1 as Prestia now was about to break away with a clearance, but a free kick coming back. It'll go to Jared Witts for the ruck infringement. Gold Coast with the ball. Handball back to Jack Bowes, 11th disposal, inside 50. There were 3 Tigers planted for that, and it was a beautiful mark taken there by Nathan Broad. He goes out wider. Prestia getting more involved in the game. That's his 8th disposal. He takes it at left half back and slows things down.
Looking good on his return from the concussion protocols. Long kick to half foot. Oh, in front, Witts. Oh, had 90% of that. Upset, not enough. No mark. Went to ground level. Graham tries to pick it up for the Suns. Has a fumble under the pressure from Soldo. Now, Soldo's over the top of Collins and locks it up. Good work from Big Ivan, who was outnumbered there and earns a ball up for the Tigers. 65 metres out at left, half forward. Richmond leading by a goal. Great start here at Carrara. Soldo knuckles it clear of the contest to Prestia's advantage on 55. Kicks to full forward. Cumberland out the back, got 2 in the first time. Having started on the pine, wondering whether he'd get a kick today.
Oh, what a goal.
And Richmond lead by 2 goals at 5-3 to 3-3. Who is he? He's Noah Cumberland.
He's quick. I tell you, what about the big fist there? Out of that stoppage there, but what is Prestia doing inside on his own, 20 metres there? He got the ball widey and then just a bullet blast. I think in the end, the Gold Coast, who was the defender there, just slipped over and allowed Noah to get another one. Jeez, that's...
Lemons was the one, but
Lemons.
I reckon it was a set play from Soldo to Prestia because he got out so clean, so clear. You don't leave Prestia one-on-one, and I reckon a lot of sides, when you're forward to centre, you just take a risk. You know, if you've got the backup support inside, you just take a risk, and I reckon that's what they did.
There's Noah Cumberland in his second game of AFL footy. He's got 3 touches, kicked 2 goals, 1 so far as a medical sub injected into the game. Now the Suns with a clearance. Ainsworth, who's played some kind of game so far, gets it back to Casbolt. Great smothering effort. The Tigers with a chance. Pickett tackled off the ball. Now comes through Ralph Smith. He pushes it outside of defensive 50. It's gathered by Rao. He's gathered. He loses the ball and then gathers the bloke who actually gave him the ball, dumped him into the ground, and that was short.
He's hard to tackle, Rao.
Boy, oh boy, it's going to be a ball up on the point of the centre square at right half forward for the Suns.
Last minute of the first term. Prestia just about to burst away, but the ump's whistle says no, you can't. Matt Rao was held at the bottom of that contest. Free kick, Gold Coast. Rao from 65 kicks to the pocket, and Tarrant gets to the drop. No mark, late spoil from Day, rode by Holman of the Suns. Hand pass to Sharp in the pocket, kicks across the face of goal. It pitches in the opposite pocket and out of play for a boundary throw in.
Who was that kick to, I want to know, because there were 3 Tigers standing there by themselves.
No, I think he was having a shot. Should have just chipped it up, really, because they had both Casbolt and Wicks, I think, was there at the time.
It had that shape about it as having a shot, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Throw in, left forward pocket for the Suns. Trailing by 2 goals very late in the first term. Comes off the hands of Nankervis, then back into his arms. Witts tackles him into the ground. It's a push in the back. And it will be a free kick to Richmond in the right back pocket. Big Nank to take it.
He deserved that. That's Ruckman on Ruckman. Just give it straight in the back.
Time ticking away in this first quarter, and what an entertaining one it has been. Nankervis's kick beyond defensive 50. Soldo the target, can't mark. McIntosh tries to row, pushed off by Holman, but picked up by the Tigers. They've got the numbers there. But the siren ends any further score of what was a dramatic and entertaining first quarter at Carrara. Tom Lynch out with a hamstring injury, and the sub coming in for him, Noah Cumberland, has kicked 2 goals. Richmond also lost Jack Ross before the bounce. He was out with a knee injury, so Thompson Down came in as well. So despite the adversity, the Tigers lead at 5-3, 33 to 3-3, 21. Other goal kickers for Richmond, Pickett, Edwards and Bolton, while for Gold Coast, all singles, Holman, Chol and Ainsworth. That scoreline again, Richmond 5-3, 33 to Gold Coast's 3-3, 21. And repeating that news out of last night's big win for the Swans over the Bulldogs, where Tom Papley was reported. He'll be fine. No further sanction for him. The MRO decision has come down that quote, it was determined by the MRO that Papley was contesting the ball, and it was reasonable for Papley to contest the ball in that way. No further action will be taken. Earlier today at the MCG, Collingwood came from 28 points down late in the third quarter to defeat North Melbourne by 7 points. The Magpies 13 goals, 10-88 to North Melbourne's 12-9-81. And to come later on today, St Kilda and Fremantle at Docklands. Port Adelaide will do battle with Greater Western Sydney at the Adelaide Oval. Calls of both of those available on the ABC via local radio, or just go to the AFL app, and look for the ABC Worm. And just before housekeeping, a check on the cricket score in Gaul, where Steve Smith finished 145 not out as Australia was dismissed for 364 at lunch on the second day. Sri Lanka is 8 without loss in reply. 2 goals to lead to the Tigers. Great first term here at Carrara. Hope you've enjoyed it. Analysis coming up shortly on Grandstand AFL.
If you're not going through an emergency situation right now, it might be the perfect time to explore the all-new ABC Emergency website. ABC Emergency lets you search for incidents near you, or you can check on other locations around the country. There's also a handy button that lets you listen to the local ABC radio station closest to the emergency. abc.net.au/emergency. Save it in your favourites now and keep listening to ABC Radio, your emergency broadcaster.
The 2022 AFL Premiership season.
Grandstand AFL. On ABC Radio and ABC Sport Digital.
Casbolt, the target, couldn't take the mark. Will rove in the pocket, does Swallow. Hand passes to Holman. Holman gets it to his boot, and the Suns get the first.
Caleb Graham didn't pick the ball up. Edwards could. In the pocket, he's corralled. He opens up the eyes, and beautiful kick. Comes back to Marlon Pickett, 30 metres out. directly in front. Marlon Pickett comes through. Registers the first for the Tigers. $1 apiece, 3 minutes gone.
Rowell won the ball. Hand pass out the back to Ainsworth. He'll snap to the goal mouth. Out the back. Scholes picked it up. He's marked. He swivels. He snaps. He goals. Baker kicking to full forward. Defensive spoil came from Graham. Now Revolt punches it off the volley to the goal mouth and Edwards Rhodes and kicks another Richmond goal to level the scores.
Then Ainsworth
Here's a great kick.
has pumped it through for the Gold Coast and they hit the lead.
Tigers ball on the wing. Prestia finds a path among the congestion to drive it deep to full forward. Soldo's got 3 to beat. Couldn't mark, but Bolton Rhodes snaps in. Goals! Oh, Lemons was there for the Suns. He tapped that straight back to Edwards. Hands it to Morris Rioli. He hands it on to Cumberland. And the Queenslander kicks his first goal in league footy. Soldo knuckles it clear of the contest to Prestia's advantage on 55. Kicks to full forward. Cumberland out the back. Got 2 in the first term.
This is the 2022 AFL Premiership season.
On ABC Radio and ABC Sport Digital.
Richmond 5-3, 33, Gold Coast 3-3, 21. Sounds of an entertaining first term at Carrara on the Gold Coast. Quentin Hull and the team with you for Grandstand AFL through ABC Sport. Thanks for your messages on the text line. Keep them coming. 0437 774 774. G'day to Chip and Trevelyan, who says, hey lads, loving the call. Listening as I hack back a Kiwi vine. Can't the Tigers? Thanks, Chip. G'day to Marcus and Sumatra, who's listening as well. Always nice to hear from you. 0437 774 774. A couple of numbers on our way to Jason Ackermanis and Jeff White. Rioli 11 touches, Prestia 10 for the Tigers in the first term, 9 for Bolton and Broad. Bose had 11 off half-back for Gold Coast, 9 for Ainsworth, 8 for Tuke Miller. Not much overall. Richmond plus 6 in the disposals. The clearances, only 1 in it there. Advantage to the Suns. Inside 50s, 15-14. All the stats are pretty tight. Jeff,
Yeah.
Jason, your thoughts, please.
They are.
It was a fast first quarter. And what we said, conditions, fast track, two sides that love to go through the corridor, really clean below their knees, and they didn't disappoint in that first quarter. I actually loved Jack Bowes, the way he played that quarter. It was the ability to come off the half-back, but to go fast as well, be able to switch, have a presence. 11 possessions in that first quarter. Really had some drive from the half-back line there. But Richmond just when they got it inside their forward 50, geez, they looked dangerous. They were able to keep it alive, bring the ball to ground, and, just be able to get those crumbing goals, which are so potent and so good at.
It'll be interesting to see what Damien Hardwick does with this man-on-man out of defence, because at the moment, nothing's really not working for them. They're doing well. I think the Gold Coast, if you were Stuart Dew, you'd be saying, out of the middle, boys, not only do we need a little bit more firepower and a bit of cleaner ball out of there, but on the defensive side, they cannot have 3 and 4 guys out on their own if they're just going to punch it forward or handball it forward. So little things, a bit of man-on-man. I think that's the way they want to play the Suns. They want to make it that type of game today.
The efficiency inside 50s really in Richmond's favour. 8 shots from 14 inside 50s. They're going at 57%, which is huge. The Suns 6 shots from 15 inside 50s at 40%. That's the big difference at the minute.
They're not really kicking it well enough to their big forwards at the moment, and Charles back on now. He had a bit of a rest late in that quarter.
Nankervis and Witts in ruck as we start the second term. Nankervis clearly down to Bolton. Beautiful service. Hands out the back to Prestia. Hands it back to Nankervis. Clearance for the Tigers. Rush kick to half forward. Graham first to meet it for the Suns' defence. Punches it towards the boundary line. Fiorini Robes under pressure from Pickett. Kicks around the wing, but Prestia's there to take the mark for Richmond. And Dion Prestia plays on immediately. Kicks long, inside attacking 50 for the Tigers. Out the back of the pack. Bolton does the roving. 1 bounce. Open goal. Second major for Bolton. He doesn't miss those. We've got a few out the back, the Tigers.
Yeah.
They're 3 to the good at the moment. They've kicked the last 4 goals in the game. It's 6-3 to 3-3. A minute into the second term.
He's playing as a midfielder at the moment. That's twice now where he's got front and centre and just taken off. And there's no touch and feel on him. It's wonderful play by Shea Bolton. It's top class. But from the Suns' perspective, there's no touch and feel.
Well, the other thing too is that is an all duck and no dinner all day of the week. So He has just chanced his arm. It has come off, but that's the problem with Shea Bolton. When it does, it looks awesome like that. When it doesn't, he goes 0 and 5, or he misses goals, or he can't get a shot on goal.
So 4 centre bounce clearances for Bolton in his 11 disposals as the umpire brings it back to the middle of Carrara. The light's completely taken over here. Nankervis tackled into the ground there by Touk Miller for the Suns, and just forward of the centre circles, the umpire will do it again.
So on Jason's point, you're saying that the powder was good for downhill skiing on that occasion?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Ruckman go at it again. You love your Olympic analogies, does Quentin Hull. He's been there, done that. Wits, long kick to the top of the square. McIntosh Roves tackled off it. Roses got an indiscriminate handball away, picked up by Dow. He's tackled too high. It'll be a free kick to the younger brother of Paddy Dow from Carlton. He's got his chance today, and he chips it out to the right back pocket.
A little dangerous, but it got to its target, marked by Broad before Chol could spoil. Broad runs to defensive 50, kicks to the wing for Richmond, through the fingers of Revolt, roved by Ellis of the Suns. Kicks the Suns back into attack. Casbolt with 3 around him, crashes the ball to deck. He got over the shoulder, free kick, contact as well, I think.
No.
Oh, no. Levi's got up and pointing at me. No. It's in the... Was it a mark or in the back?
Mark.
It was a mark to Miller. So Ben Miller from half-back for Richmond. Kicks in the Revolt direction, takes the mark. With Ellis coming at him, his ex-team mate. Jack kicked 10 here a couple of years ago on a Saturday afternoon against the Suns. Hasn't kicked one yet tonight from 70. Puts Richmond back towards attack. Ballard got in front of Soldo, almost took the intercept mark. Couldn't. Roving for Gold Coast is Rowell under pressure. Hand pass turned over. Ralph Smith picks it up for the Tigers. Hand pass to Pickett. Hand pass to Dan Rioli from 50. Chip to the pocket. Marked by Castagna. Running with the flight. Fingertip control. He's only 15 out, but hard on the boundary in the right forward pocket.
Biggest difference at the moment between the sides is that when the ball hits the ground, Richmond are super clean. Even Dow down the back line, he picked it up, got the free kick, but just so clean below their knees at the moment.
Jeff White on grandstand AFL as Jason Castagna, number 11, has kicked 11 goals so far this season, setting himself up for the left-footed snap punt. 2 steps infield, execution poor. Didn't have enough snap on it. It's a behind on the far side. So that ends a run of 4 straight goal for the Tigers. Sorry, Aka, 19 points the difference at 6-4-40 to 3-3-21.
Just have to ask him. I'll ask Aka about how he approached that shot as Lukosius' kick goes towards the boundary line. It's going to come off hands.
That was
Jason Castagna, he almost played on. He didn't set himself for that around the corner, Aka.
Yeah, it's almost like he's trying to trick the opposition by looking away from the goals. But you've got to look at the goals, man.
Well, he looked exactly where he kicked it, straight across the face of goals as the throw-in comes down to the feet of Touk Miller for the Suns. Nice looping handball to Rowell. He tries to kick it to Casbolt on the lead, but just overcooked the kick, and well read by Robbie Tarrant at the back. Took the mark and relieves for the Tigers at left half-back. He's a little chiselling pass, finds Dan Rioli, who's reinvented his career since going at half-back for the Tigers. He's really tearing it up now.
That's not 15 metres either.
Well, taking his time, now runs infield Rioli, and from forward of half-back, kicks towards half-forward Soldo, the target. He just knuckled it forward, but Bowes was out the back to read it for Gold Coast. Hand pass, hoping for Flanders, under pressure near the boundary, can't keep it in. It will be tossed in. Thank you to Rachel from Ballarat, who texts, what has happened to Lynch? And is there any truth in Dusty retiring and becoming an umpire?
Jeez.
I don't know about the second one, Rachel, but I can tell you about the first. Tom Lynch is out with a hamstring injury. And Noah Cumberland kicked 2 goals in the first term, coming on as the sub. Roved by Edwards from the throw-in at half-forward for the Tigers. Goes inboard and a little defensive with the chip to Castagna, who's now between the bullseye and the 50 arc as he kicks Richmond back into attack. Bolton flies in the pack. Got a fingernail, couldn't take the mark. Men over the footy as it hits the deck, and the ump comes in and will ball it up with Richmond deep in attack, leading 6-4-40 to 3-3-21.
So the umpire will just throw it up. Slapped down by Nankervis, roved by Bolton, onto the boot immediately. It floats right. And one behind. 6-5-41 plays 3-3-21. 20 points the margin. 5.5 gone, second term grandstand AFL.
And g'day to Cooper and Archie. They're listening in the back seat of the car. They're giggling and having a great time. Go Tigers. Thank you. Richmond now in defensive mode as Ellis receives it half back from the kicking. Kicks the Suns to the wing and a juggling mark taken by Sam Day. It's his second game of the season. One of the original Suns. Day with his right boot kicks it towards attacking 50, goes to the foot of the pack. Rowell has a go. Miller hassles him. Chol picks it up for Gold Coast. Hand pass through Swallow onto Oya. Snap kick to full forward. Looking for Ainsworth. Couldn't mark. Numbers for Richmond at the fall. Broad's hand pass. Again in the chopper. Top turned over. There for the Suns is Swallow. Hands it to Took Miller. Kick to Chol in the pocket. Nudge Miller underneath it. Couldn't mark. Now Oya hand passes infield to Fiorini. And he snaps a goal. Again, just that hot footy, Jason Ackermanis and Jeff White. I've seen so many of those contests where the intensity at the football.
But Chol, the tap on there, cue ball. That was what allowed that goal to actually even take place. He was under immense pressure there, Chol, and just to tap forward, 2 Gold Coast players running onto it. That's what you love.
Well, the Suns need that. I'll just give the score, Jeff. Richmond 6-5-41. The Suns 4-3-27.
It was just a repeat effort from Chol. He was the one that got the hands, kept his feet, got the hands out, went over, hit it on. It just had to work hard for it though, didn't they, the Suns?
He did.
He made to keep it alive.
He made the 2 tackles in that contest. Just before that, you just didn't hear in the commentary. So, Chol, very important up forward. Not only is he kicking goals, but he's facilitated that one, and he's very important to him at the moment up forward.
Nice little goal assist there from Wago Paul Oya. In only his second game, he's become a cult figure already, the Papua New Guinean, and it comes down to Richmond again. Bolton comes out to the commentary wing. The prolific McIntosh. He just chips forward, waits it nicely for Prestia, 70 metres from his own goal.
That was a 5th centre bounce clearance for Shea Bolton. He's kicked 2 goals as well. He is carving them up.
Absolutely, as Prestia now. Long direct kick to the top of the goal square. Nankervis flies. Front and square was Morris Rioli. Couldn't quite gather it. Oh, it was short that did, and he got belted. The umpire says fairly. It's going to be a ball up.
The last stop play they had here, there was no touch and feel on Shea Bolton. He missed it. He kicked a point. So,
Witch with the tap down for the Suns. Got it down to Anderson Russ. Clearance from defence. Through the fingers of Casbot on the wing. Through the fingers of Tarrant. Now the big men tangle for it at ground level. Tarrant's going to win out. And he evades the tackle of Holman. Hand pass out the back to Broad. Rush kick from the wing to half forward. Morris Rioli's got 2 to beat, and the bounce evaded him as well. Witz picks it up for the Suns. Hand pass to Rowell at half back, gives to Fiorini by hand. Now the kick down the wing to a pack. Then Curvis bashed Casbot before the ball arrived. Play on. Now Ace Oya's got tackled by Dan Rioli holding the ball.
It's unlucky.
And Rioli gets the free kick. Levi's, I think he's got to pay extras for free kicks tonight. He's been mugged a few times.
Yeah, Robbie Tarrant's one of the best at it, and he just got the kick there too, inside 50 for Richmond. It's fisted forward by the Suns. Short takes it, he's tackled holding the ball. Without the ball.
That's a bad decision.
Well, I'll just say it as I called it, Acker, and the crowd reacted, and I'm not sure who reacted there in a negative way, but it's a 50-metre penalty, and it will go to the Tigers, and it will go to Jaden Short. It's going to take him right up basically to the goal line.
It's a bad umpiring error in the first place. Gave him a free kick he didn't deserve, got disposed of it fairly, and said he was held on to it for too long, and then didn't like a little bit of, hey, what was that for? That wasn't a free kick. The umpire dissent. Easy goal.
Jaden Short from point blank range to extend the Tigers' lead, and does so. 7-5-47, plays 4-3-27, back to 20 points the margin. 10 gone, second term, grandstand AFL. Michael Price with Quentin Hull. Your experts, Jeff White, Jason Ackermanis.
It goes back to the middle now, the Suns. They need to lift in the centre. They're getting destroyed out of the centre there. Shea Bolton's been unbelievable. So this is where it all starts. They've got Day's gone in now. He's going to go in. I think it's Nankervis. So a little bit on the defence, in my opinion, in relation to the ruck, but they've got to be touch and feel.
And got to go man on man here.
Without being unfair, we know that the interpretation of the dissent has been weakened, but that's a very easy 50-metre penalty to give against Gold Coast at Carrara. They're not given that in a big Melbourne v Melbourne club game at the MCG on a Friday night. And that's the problem. We just get different interpretations depending on the scene. That's an easy one for the umps to give, to remind everyone it's still there. But will it come in a final, Acker?
No.
That's just my opinion. But hey,
all right.
That's the assessment of what we see. Free kick in the middle goes to Short of Richmond, and another clearance from the middle of the ground. They lead by 20 points. Kick to the forward line row by Pickett. Hand pass to Bolton. Tight on the pocket. He can do anything from there. Decides to straighten it up. And Rioli took a fly and pushed out his opponent. That was Morris. And the free kick will go Gold Coast's way to Sean Lemons, who's had a bit of a tough start.
Yes, that was... if he had took that mark, though, Pricey, I wonder if they would have paid it. Because he just...
It's amazing. Again, interpretations, but there's some grey areas in this great game. As Sean Lemons has the ball at full back for the Gold Coast Suns. They're trailing by 20. That's a floating sack of a kick. It just managed to get outside defensive 50. Jack Graham for Richmond. Straight across the half-forward line to find Short. He's just inside the centre square. Wheels around, right foot. Big fly from Bolton. One-hander. Oh, what a beauty. What an absolute corker from Bolton. 20 metres out. Flew across the pack and gathered it in with the one mitt.
Didn't deserve that, really, in the body position. His opponent had him cold and he just stuck up that right mitt, and geez, that's a good mark, Whitey.
He is a special talent, Jeff White, isn't he? So Shea Bolton, what a beauty. He's going to come in for his third goal. The crowd stunned by that grab. Lopes in, drills it for the Tigers for his third. 8-5, 53, plays 4-3, 27. It's now a 26-point margin here at Carrara in favour of Richmond with 13 gone in the second turn.
Starts the midfield, gets it out of the midfield, goes to the forward line, kicks three. Not bad.
It's going good. What about Short, though? The ability to have a guy who can kick like that. He could nearly have a shot. He's that good from that distance, 60 metres out. He can get a one-on-one inside forward 50. Shea Bolton, you'd always back him in, but he's having a great night. Considering the big forwards, obviously Lynch is out and Revolt has a kick one. This is
Judd-esque in his pomp. 15 disposals, 10 of them contested, 5 centre bounce clearances and 3 goals. Look, we're talking, like, this is, and I use the Judd example because it's one that comes to mind, of absolute elite in the middle and then hurting at the attacking end. I didn't even know Juddy was that good to hurt him forward.
That was Ackermanis 2004.
Centre bounce. What can the Suns do about it? Rode by Tuke Miller. Kicks them into attack. They need a goal. Met, though, by the Richmond defence as Tarrant got the hand pass to Baker. Hands it to Broad. Back to Baker. They run off half back. Now the kick towards half forward. Revolt behind. Flew, but in front. Graham takes the mark for the Suns. Kicks infield to Anderson. Takes the mark.
Jeff White, you've seen something in the Richmond rooms?
I saw Soldo went into the rooms.
Oh, dear. So we'll have a look at that too. We'll investigate that too, Q, as Ivan Soldo is now back down in the Richmond rooms.
Mustache might be off.
Anderson passes to Bowes, who's got it on the wing. Richmond by 26 points, a game high. 14 minutes into this second term. Bowes kicks towards half forward. Casbolt presents. Tarrant spoils. Roving is Lemons. Is Flanders. He's tackled straight away. And we'll see a ball up at right half forward for Gold Coast.
They're on the flat foot here, the Suns, and that's only due to the ability to win the ball by Richmond.
23 inside 50s to 19 now. Richmond just piling on the pressure as it's slapped out of that ruck contest. Noah Anderson gathers, and Morris Rioli gathers him. Tumbles him to the ground. The ball lets loose. Bowes inside 50. Chol at the back, and the ball spills to Grimes. He gathers for Richmond. It's a high ball. Ellis settles underneath it. He's spoiled there. Well done by Jake Arts, who gathered there. No, it's a free kick. It's coming back.
All in front of the Richmond fans. Brandon Ellis gets one.
There's your return call, as the Richmond fans are filthy at Carrara, and you can hear it. But Brandon Ellis, the two-time Premiership Tiger, will have a shot. He'll have to let go from 50, but his left leg is 2 metres from the boundary line.
That was a poor kick out of defence too. It really didn't suit his teammate there, and in the end he had to pile into the back of Ellis. And I think it was a free kick they got. He should have taken the mark anyway, so he had to do something.
So the former Tiger, his 50th game as a Sun, pops it up to the top of the square. Chol with the fly. Through his hands at the back, McIntosh gathers. Handball, clever. Through the point posts, and it is a rush behind. 8-6 plays 8-5 plays 4-4. It's now a 25-point the margin in favour of the Tigers as they play on quickly.
Move it to right half back, where it's taken by Short. Kicks it towards the wing. Graham at the front of the pack makes the spoil for the Suns and wins the spillage. Kicks it back towards half forward. Day flew, couldn't mark under the pressure from Baker, and the ricochet goes to the small defending Tiger. Hands it through Dan Rioli, gives it to the wing for Graham, takes a bounce, runs to the logo, kicks inside 50. Castagna outmarked by Bowes, but Bowes manhandled him apparently. And the free kick goes to Jason Castagna.
I'm not sure about that there, Whitey.
No, well, it was a tug of war. Could have gone either way, but just Richmond's ability to get through the midfield and just go quick is putting the Suns' defence on the back foot. They just can't keep up.
Well, even that contest down there with Baker. I mean, he should have got it. They should have taken the mark. They're having a shot at goal.
Yeah.
So here's the shot from Jason Castagna. He's kicked it behind so far today. 45 out, 45 degrees to the right. He's left it near side. 4 are behind. Now, according to me, that's Richmond 8-6-54 to Gold Coast 5-4-28.
They've given the point.
Yeah, and the scoreboard's wrong, indeed. It's 8-6 to 4-4.
Correct, and Champion Data have got it. Now, Ben Ainsworth, who's gathered, he had a mighty first quarter with 9 disposals. This is his first one for the quarter here at right half back for the Suns. He's going to retreat inside defensive 50 all the way back to the top of the goal square. Caleb Graham, he's tracked back down there by Castagna, trying to widen the field. Now Graham looks for the lead of Holman. He's spoiled by Bolton, who did beautifully to get there. Then Bolton gathers Holman. Then he lets loose the ball. They're under plenty of pressure, the Suns. It's towed down the line, but it's cut off there by Arts for Richmond.
Hand passes to the running Ralph Smith along the Nerang River boundary line. He kicks it to full forward. Spoiling fist came from Lukosius of the Suns. Whacked at the half-back, rode by Swallow. Hand pass to Sharp. Sharp chip in field, not all that sharp. Intercepted by Thompson Dow. The intended target was Rowell. And Dow from 55 doesn't go for goal. Kicks it to the top of the goal square. Defensive mark to Collins. He read that pretty well. And Collins relieves for the Suns. He's going to kick it towards right, half-back. Wits the fly. Baker there to make enough of a spoil to bring it to ground level. Rode by Fiorini, though, of Gold Coast. Hands it back to Wicks at half-back. Hands to Flanders and smothered off the boot by Baker. Desperate work from Baker to keep it in attack for the Tigers. Throwing it left half forward for Richmond, who lead it by 26 points at 8-6-54 to 4-4-28.
It's the 1%ers there, Q. Just a bit, and even Shea Bolton over the other side just to get a hand in and smother.
Here's Witts versus Nankervis. Nankervis gets it down, but only to Touk Miller for the Suns. Handball forward to the arc of 50. Swallow, his handball smothered. Nankervis picks it back up. Jack Graham for the Tigers kicks it inside 50, and that is a ripping grab taken. Oh, that's Castagna in the front position. He copped one across the face as he went to get the spoil from Brandon Ellis, the former teammate, but that's another mark for the Tigers inside 50. He's 30 out, 45-degree angle to the left.
And Chris will be very happy on the text. He says, loving the call, but don't forget each side has a Graham. Could we have a Caleb or a Jack? You gave it the Jack too?
Well, there you go.
Well done, Pricey. Thanks for your text, 0467. 0437 774 774.
He's playing on Castagna, and he's done it again. That's a floating, horrible kick towards the goal square. Gold Coast Suns with the chance. Sharp now roves and then hoiks it into the third row. That's going to come back. That's out of bounds on the full. Marlon Pickett's going to have the free kick for Richmond. He's 70 from goal at right half forward.
Left foot again.
You know a thing or two about kicking both sides, Jace?
Oh, you need to have both feet in this competition, people.
Pickett with the inbound kick to Broad. Broad a sharp pass to Ralph Smith, who almost ran through Dan Rioli to take the mark. Rioli's up and okay. Ralph Smith marked it. He's 60 out, kicks Richmond to the forward pocket. And Curvis the target, Witts with the spoil. Rode by Ainsworth, tackled by Art straight away. Ball up.
Yeah, they've been good with the defensive spoils, but they're not getting enough defensive marks, Gold Coast.
Thrown up by the umpire, Nankervis, and Witts. Drops at the feet there of Anderson. Noah Anderson for the Coast, who does the outside of the right boot down the boundary line. Gathered by Day. He handballs now to Ainsworth. They're out here. Malcolm Rosas on the wing. Little 9-iron pass is ill-directed. Cut off by Dan Rioli. Stonewall Rioli. Handball over the top now and play on. There's whistles on play everywhere here. And it's going to be a free kick downfield. What's the story there, Jeff White?
Went over the mark when Rioli had that mark, took the mark, he went over the line, defender.
Well, Dan Rioli played on. He's going to be dragged all the way down to the 40-metre mark, and so he can have a shot here. He's laid the ball on the ground, 45-degree angle to the right. Dan Rioli will let this go from about 50.
Soldo's coming back on too.
That's good news too for the Tigers. They've already lost Tom Lynch, who was subbed out of the game after about 10 minutes with a hamstring injury, replaced by Noah Cumberland, who's kicked a couple. Now here's Daniel Rioli. From 50. Leans back on it a bit. It's got the length. No, not quite. On the line. Road. Snap over the shoulder there. And your best known who's done that. That's Jack Riewoldt. That's what he does the best.
Well, he has had no looks at the goals all night, really, Jack Riewoldt, but good crumbing goal out of that pack, Pricey. What's the score?
The score is 9-6-60 to 4-4-28. 32 points the margin now in favour of the Tigers. And the Carrara scoreboard's got its stuff in a pile. It's good. 21.5 gone second term.
7 of the last 8 goals have been kicked by Richmond.
Oh, that's disappointing. What about on the line there, Whitey's? I'm watching this quarter, and if I'm Stewie Jew, these are coach killers. They're out on that other side, weren't they? They outnumbered them and couldn't make a simple pass on the 45.
Witz was on the line, but he was coming back. He wasn't actually behind the line and coming forward.
Yeah.
They had 2 on the line, didn't they? The Gold
did.
Coast in Caleb Graham and Jared Witz, but managed to let it through.
Tigers starting to pull away in this second term. Centre bounce, clean possession for Soldo of Richmond. Rush kick to half forward. Bounces, unfortunately, for a couple. Favourably for Arts, who gathers out the back. Breaks a tackle. 40 out. Left foot kick is not a shot on goal. Fly from the back from Shane Edwards. Couldn't take the mark.
Good mark.
And the grab for the Gold Coast Suns is taken by Ballard. Ballard kicks it across the face of goal. It's marked by Caleb Graham, who's going to play on. Kicks from full-back towards half-back. McIntosh there with Tuke Miller. Off hands, rowed by Fiorini of the Suns. Gave the hand pass to Bose. Bose has kicked from right half-back. Finds Witz. Defensive side of the wing. Takes the grab and kicks in field to Anderson. No one really on his mark, so he rolls on. Chips it to Tuke Miller, who takes the mark still on halfway. Near the interchange gates on the western side. Tuke Miller coming up for possession number 14. The ever prolific reigning best and fairest, an All-Australian, kicks it to half forward. Big spoil coming from Grimes. It was on the head of Sam Day, and Grimes knuckled it about 8 rows into the stands, where it's picked up by a youngster who's wearing the away strip, the famous, not yellow and black, but black with yellow, the 2017 Premiership strip by that young man. And he throws it back to the boundary umpire.
Is that the most popular away strip in the history of the game, that way?
Any drought-breaking Premiership strip's a good one.
Absolutely, and it goes inside forward 50. Ralph Smith gathers, though, for Richmond, and he's going to pop it back out. He's looking for and finding Thompson Dow. Spoiled, though, by Tuke Miller for the Suns. Rode by Holman. His kick half smothered as it goes inside 50. It was Broad who got it through by Toe into the centre square. Picked up by Ellis. Back inside defensive 50. Hot footy at centre half forward. Great tackle coming in there. The Tigers just relentlessly throwing their bodies in. I'll give that one to Tommy Dow. That was a ripping tackle on Sean Lemons as the umpire throws it up. Witz now comes back down to Prestia. Toes it to the outer wing. Castagna gathered by Ellis. Great tackle. Ball stuck underneath them on the outer wing, and we'll get a ball up.
Speaking of playing strips, I love the Tigers NAIDOC strip because they've abandoned the gold sash and white numbers. It's the old 90s black back, gold numbers. Very easy to see.
Oh, yes.
Here's Prestia, number 3, blaring out on that Nerang River wing. Winning the spillage, kicking to Short. Short's kick to Castagna. He gathers on half forward, draws a man, hand passes to Riewoldt in the pocket, 40 out, kicks infield and onto the head of Arts, who'd run on, juggles and takes the mark, 40 from goal. Tigers are starting to do as they please. Jeff White and Jason Ackermanis.
Too easy on that far side there. Lack of pressure. They're getting at the back. They don't look like they've got the zip, Gold Coast, at the moment, particularly around the midfield region, both wingers.
But you know you don't have when you're in the flat foot, because Richmond are just so clean below their knees. They're just winning every contested and uncontested possession.
Slight angle to the right for Jake Arts. Man on the mark is 40 metres out. This for a 10th goal for Richmond and a 38-point lead. He hasn't got the journey, but it's marked in the pocket by Cumberland.
I can see how you think he's Jack Riewoldt too, because he's got similar hair colour. So unless you see the number, he's quite difficult to distinguish.
Well, it's 3-8 compared to 8, and he jumps like Jack.
Yeah. Oh, he's playing on.
In the pocket, Cumberland misses near side with a left-footed banana attempt. And the sub coming in for the hamstrung Tom Lynch has now got 2 goals, 2. Tigers 9-7-61. Lead by 33 points over 4-4-28.
The Suns want to get this moving. Late in the second term, Noah Anderson chips at the centre half back to find Ellis. Plays on now, as called by Jason Ackermanis, to Ben Ainsworth. He goes to the outer side. That's a nice looking kick. He finds his teammate there in Sharp, who wheels around onto the right foot back to Anderson. So just holding on to possession here. The Tigers have set up beautifully in front of the Gold Coast. Anderson now to the lead of Ainsworth. He plays on. The left foot to the pocket. Oh, well done there by Broad in front of Flanders, who gathered, then tumbled it down the line. Ainsworth cuts it off in front of Short there, and Baker, I should say, and the crowd of... Well, what are they whinging about for that one? Ben Ainsworth gets the free kick for 70 metres from goal. He's right on the boundary line.
Well, he did the right thing last time, Price. He played on, but his forwards aren't moving for him.
Sea of yellow and black out there as Ainsworth kicks inside 50. Ralph Smith spoils but punches it straight to Lemons. He snaps off a step and misses everything. Out of bounds on the full. Free kick to Richmond in the right back pocket. Grimes to bring it back in for the Tigers, who led by 12 points at quarter time, and they've kicked 4 goals to 1 in this second term. Long entry back into the field of play. Bowes flew in front of Castagna to fist it towards the boundary line. Castagna got it, thought he kept it in. Boundary ump thought otherwise. Throw in.
He's
on that outer
lively
side.
tonight, isn't he?
Sorry?
Castagna. Been
Yes.
very lively tonight.
I wonder when they're going to start change that rule where you punch it out on the full delivery. That's as deliberate as deliberate.
Now there's plus 17 Richmond with the handball, so they're doing all the running at the moment.
Shallow boundary throw in. Actually hit the head of one of the Rovers. Ricochets to Pickett of Richmond. I think we give that a clearance. Chips it to Bolton, who's had some half. No, it was out in the full. Pickett did get it to Bolton, but beyond the boundary line. So free kick to the Suns, and now Noah Anderson's kicked from the wrong part of the matrix.
That's fastidious.
Chips infield now, marked by Sharp. Forward of the wing for the Suns, who need something before half-time. Long entry to attack for Gold Coast. Out the back, Tarrant does the roving for Richmond. They're out again here. Hand pass to Ralph Smith. Hand pass to Graham. Hand pass to Dow. Hand pass to Ralph Smith. They run the corridor through the bullseye. Ralph Smith deep to Cumberland. Through his fingers. Should have marked it. He'll get a free kick, run on contact.
Yeah, that was so easy. Straight through the middle. Not a finger laid on him from Gold Coast on Richmond.
I wonder whether he's got family and friends here, Noah Cumberland. He'd know this ground so well, having been a part of the Lions Academy, and a lot of footy played at lower levels on this ground. And here he is.
Absolutely.
Thinking that, oh, well, should I invite you to Carrara? I'm an emergency and I'm likely to be the sub. Tom Lynch out with a hammy after 15 minutes. And now Noah Cumberland, 21-year-old from the Sunshine Coast in Game 2, strikes with his left boot and kicks his third point. Or his second point. Second point. He's got 2 goals too. Probably should have kicked that. 34 points to lead to Richmond.
You were right, Q. It's 2 goals 3. Don't listen to me.
2-3. Third point. Thanks.
Never listen to me.
Oh, no, we're a team.
Good at the bag.
I'm willing to share my mistakes with you.
So Tuke Miller, who they've kept very quiet in the second term. He had only about 4 disposals so far. He gives it to Brandon Ellis, who has time for a fumble and then kicks it long down the line. Oh, the big fly came from Baker, and then Casbolt came over the top, fisted it over the boundary line right in front of us for a throw-in. Looks like Alistair Lynch has arrived after 2 flights and a bus trip and a train trip.
Oh, have a look at him. Look at him relaxed. But Rao's got to get in the game. The midfield for Gold Coast is just down too much at the moment.
Yeah, Matt Rowley's down. He's only got 8 disposals so far. Well kept. He's got Thompson Dow for company at the moment. There's the siren for half-time as Ivan Soldo and Jared Witts get messed into each other, and a little bit of jumper pushing and a bit of how's your father right in front of the grandstand commentary box.
Don't show your fight now. Like, why would you have a fight now? You've shown no fight for a quarter and a bit, and you do that. That's rubbish, Bryson.
At half-time, it is 34 points the margin. The Tigers lead 9-8-62 to the Gold Coast Suns, 4-4-28. For the Suns, Mab Chol, all singles, Mab Chol, Ben Ainsworth, Nick Holman and Braden Fiorini. For the Tigers, Bolton's got 3, Noah Cumberland's got 2, and singles to Edwards, Rewalt, Short and Pickett.
Thank you, Michael. Repeating that scoreline from the MCG earlier today. The Magpies were the best part of 5 goals down late in the third term, but beat North Melbourne by 7 points. Collingwood 13 goals, 10-88 over North Melbourne's 12-9-81. Just the one game in the National Rugby League today. It's a split round due to the impending Origin decider, which you can hear on ABC Radio on Wednesday night from the Cauldron at Lang Park. It's a matter of who's playing. COVID going through a couple of key players for the Maroons, and The Blues have had some issues with that as well, but the West Tigers taking on Parramatta later on tonight. And speaking of the Cauldron, ABC Grandstand providing you a call of the second Rugby Union International for the Ella Mobs Cup as Australia takes on England after the Wallabies 14 men down in Perth, yet were able to win that first test last week. So, as ever, plenty of choice available for you. With the AFL calls, look for the AFL app. And for our Rugby League and Rugby Union, just go to the ABC Listen app and look for the appropriate buttons there. So, in the cricket, in Gaul, Australia dismissed for 364, with Steve Smith remaining unbeaten on 145. And an early breakthrough for the Australians as well. Scoreline is 1-4-13. Fancy. I'll just see if I can get that for you. Yeah, the wicket. Param Nasanka was out, caught by Cameron Green off the bowling of Mitchell Stark for 6. Dimith Karunaratne unbeaten on 6. Kusal Mendes yet to score. And Sri Lanka 1 for 12 in reply to Australia's 364. Jeff White, a thought or two from you before we go to the news with the Tigers turning a 12-point quarter-time advantage into a 34-point half-time lead.
Just outstanding play from the Tigers in that first half. And that second quarter, they just turned it on. That's premiership footy there. That's back to where they were in those premiership years, Q. We saw them a lot in 2020 up here. And just the ability to have the clean below their knees, the ability to run for each other, run and connect, handball by feet. It was really, really impressive to watch.
What's happened to the Suns?
Just on the flat, they're on the back foot. They just can't. They can't get into the game. They can't win the ball. Richmond's winning the ball in the contested and uncontested. They're running and they're taking on the game, and the Suns just can't keep up with them at the moment. And
that half comes to a conclusion with Shea Bolton finishing with 15 possessions, of which 10 were contested, 6 clearances, 5 of them from the centre bounce, and 3 goals as well.
And then Prestia there and Dow, they're just really teaming up really well. And, you know, Nankervis and Seldo are going really, really hard at Witts in the centre. They're driving straight into him to bring the ball to ground, and then their midfielders are taking over.
Thanks, Jeff. Half-time Richmond by 34 points here. Thank you for your messages. Keep them coming. The number 0437 774 774. Hello, Sandra. Our thoughts are with you. She texts, stuck in isolation on a rainy Perth day, barking like a seal with COVID cough. But I'm enjoying following the footy, listening to your call. Thanks for the entertainment, fellas. Sandra, our thoughts are with you. And those that are feeling a little poorly or just tuning in, trying to find a nice smile on what's been a tough day, good on you. I hope we're putting a smile on your dial. 0437 774 774. Richmond 9862. Gold Coast 4428. The Tigers by 34 points. That's half time at Carrara. We'll take a spell for a moment and be back after the latest from the ABC Newsroom.
Hello, this is ABC News with David Rowlands. The Prime Minister has labelled the fatal shooting of Shinzo Abe an act of terrorism. Anthony Albanese has paid tribute to the former Japanese Prime Minister, labelling him a true patriot, true leader and friend of Australia. Former Australian leaders such as Tony Abbott, Kevin Rudd, Malcolm Turnbull and Scott Morrison have also expressed their sadness and praised Mr Abe's leadership. Mr Albanese says it's vital that political figures in democracies like Australia and Japan can interact with the public free from the fear of violence.
People in senior positions are able to walk down the street and feel that they are safe from this sort of senseless violence, this crime, this act of terrorism that we've seen tragically unfold in Japan.
And the Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida has visited the home of Mr Abe in Tokyo to pay his respects a day after the former leader's assassination. More from the BBC's Rupert Wingfield-Hayes.
At just before 6 this morning, a long black hearse pulled out of the hospital in Nara. Inside, Shinzo Abe's widow, Akie, could be seen sitting near her husband's coffin. Here in Nara, mourners have continued to arrive at the site of Friday's shooting, laying flowers and expressing their deep shock. Around the world, Mr Abe's old friends and allies are continuing to express their anger and sadness. President Joe Biden visited the Japanese embassy in Washington to lay flowers. In India, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has declared Saturday a day of national mourning for Mr. Abe.
Ukrainian forces are battling to block Russian military advances into the eastern region of Donbass. Heavy shelling of towns and villages is being reported as Russian forces attack from several directions. The governor of the Luhansk region has warned that the Russians are not pausing after their recent advances in the east and are firing along the entire front line. The head of the International Atomic Energy Agency says he's happy to have a conversation with Australian officials about nuclear energy, should they want it. Rafael Grossi has been in Australia this week discussing the federal government's ambition to acquire a fleet of nuclear submarines. Speaking after touring the Lucas Heights reactor in Sydney South, Mr Grossi says nuclear energy is going to play a role in helping combat climate change, but is not an option for every country. And he says while he would be happy to assist if Australia wanted nuclear energy, he appreciates it's not on the table for now.
I believe there is a global interest in this, so I don't exclude that may happen. But as I understand it, it's not an option, an active option at the moment, but it's not a discussion that is absolutely foreclosed. So we will see.
The Australian Medical Association's Vice President says the timing of ATAGI's guidance for a fourth COVID dose is to cover the expected wave over the next 5 to 10 weeks. Australians over 30 will be able to roll up their sleeves for a fourth COVID shot from next week. The booster jab is recommended for people over 50 years of age and anyone with health conditions that may put them at risk of COVID. Dr Chris Moy says Omicron's BA4 and BA5 subvariants look concerning.
They look as though they're faster. That means they're outrunning BA2. That means more infections. So they also cause more reinfections, particularly in those people that are just relying on previous infection.
The Windsor Bridge has reopened northwest of Sydney 6 days after it was inundated by floods. Isabel Rowe reports.
The Windsor Bridge is a major access road for people in the Hawkesbury River area northwest of Sydney. It was submerged for the third time this year on Monday when the Hawkesbury River experienced its worst flood since 1978. Structural engineers gave the bridge the all clear this morning and cars are now allowed across. The North Richmond Bridge across the Hawkesbury is also open, but with a 15-tonne limit.
A helicopter has crashed in a remote part of South Maroota in Sydney's west. Emergency services were notified about the incident just before midday. Fire and Rescue New South Wales says flooding in the area is making access to the site difficult. It's not yet known how many people were on board. In the AFL, Collingwood has staged a last quarter comeback to run out 7-point winners over North Melbourne. The bottom of the ladder Kangaroos look set to produce one of the upsets of the season when they went into the three-quarter time break with a 26-point advantage. However, the Magpies kicked 5 unanswered goals in the last term to win the game, 13-10-88 to 12-9-81. The victory lifts Collingwood to 5th spot on the ladder. This is ABC News.
If you love sport, we've got the podcast for you. ABC Sport Daily, it's your daily sports conversation.
You look at the scoreline and it looks pretty easy.
Someone with a desire to play adventurous, if not flamboyant, cricket.
And although they're probably patting themselves on the back in the office today, it could have been a very different story had the Fever not performed.
Lewis Hamilton said it was one of the most ugliest innovations that Formula One has ever had.
ABC Sport Daily. Find it wherever you get your podcasts.
The 2022 AFL Premiership season.
Grandstand AFL on ABC Radio and ABC Sport Digital.
Kicks long, inside attacking 50 for the Tigers. Out the back of the pack. Bolton does the roving one bounce. Open goal. Second major for Bolton. Took Miller kicked a Chol in the pocket. Nudged Miller underneath the couldn't mark. Now Oya hand passes infield to Fiorini and he snaps a goal.
Jaden Short from point blank range to extend the Tigers lead and does so. Finds Short. He's just inside the centre square. Wheels around right foot. Big fly from Bolton. One-hander. Oh, what a beauty. What an absolute corker from Bolton. 20 metres out. So Shai Bolton lopes in, drills it for the Tigers for his third. Now here's Daniel Rioli from 50. Leans back on it a bit. It's got the length. No, not quite on the line. Road. Snap over the shoulder there. And you're best known who's done that. That's Jack Rewalt. That's what he does the best.
This is the 2022 AFL Premiership season.
On ABC Radio and ABC Sport Digital.
Hot first half hour here at Carrara on the Gold Coast. It was only a 12-point lead for Richmond at quarter time, but as we welcome you back from the halftime news commitments, Quentin Hull and the team here for ABC Sport, it's the Tigers leading by 34 points, having kicked 5 goals to 1 in the second quarter. Richmond 9-8-62 to Gold Coast's 4-4-28. In a moment, we'll touch base with the Pies after their come-from-behind victory over North Melbourne earlier today. But just before we do that, we were speaking about one of the major stories of the first quarter. About 15 minutes in, Tom Lynch was subbed out with a hamstring injury, and after planes, trains and automobiles and getting his way out of Sydney, the much-loved Fox Footy correspondent in these parts of the world, 3-time premiership line, Alistair Lynch, he got here in time to catch up with Tom Lynch. Lynch to give us the news on Tom's hammy.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks for joining me. Impressive first half from the Tigers, but disappointing one from your point of view. We saw you have the set shot. Take us through that and what you feel.
Oh, no, it was actually just a play before that. I sort of ran out. Suns switched it to the open side. I ran out and I sort of felt a little bit, and then, I was having the set shot, and I was hoping to kick it and then run off. But, yeah, I just had, it was very minor. I just felt a little thing in my hamstring, and went checked downstairs and said, yeah, you'll have to finish up.
So what was the conversation? Were you sort of trying to plead a case to stay on, or were you basically ruled out by the medical staff when you were having that chat?
Oh, we just went downstairs and they checked a couple of things, and I said, look, I feel pretty good. I think I can keep playing. And they just debated and said, look, we're just going to finish you up. So, yeah, it's on the minor end, but it's just, more annoying than anything.
And importantly, is it the same leg as we saw a month or two ago?
No, it's the other leg, so I haven't done this side. So, fingers crossed it heals pretty quickly and get back out there pretty quick.
Alistair Lynch with Tom Lynch, courtesy of Fox Footy. So there's your news from the horse's mouth from the big number 19, who, we watched him take that set shot, and that was basically it. He kicked a point, and that was only involvement in the game. Earlier today, Collingwood were 28 points down late in the third term against North Melbourne, but ran over the top of the Kangaroos in the final term to win it by 7 points. The final scoreline there, Collingwood 13-10-88 to North Melbourne's 12-9-81. And as John from Swan Bay texts in, indeed, hot pies, 7 in a row from John. Yep, indeed. 7 in a row, 7 points the margin. Jeremy Howe from the rooms chatting to our own Lauren Borden.
So, Jeremy Howe, thanks for joining us. Bit of edge of your seat type of game. What's the feeling like right now? Is it a bit of relief?
Oh, yeah, there's certainly a little bit of that. Credit to North. We knew that their game plan stacked up. It's just a matter of when we were going to try and break them. And fortunately for us, we're on the right side of it in that last quarter, and credit to the boys for digging in. And it's a real gutsy win because they're the ones that can quite easily go the other way.
And it was hard to break through. Do you think there was anything in a mentality side of things when you're coming up against a side that's lost by 100 points and, bottom of the table? Is it something mentally as well that you've got to get over yourselves?
Certainly not. We prepare as good as we can every single week, regardless of who we play. And we have an awareness of what North could have done, and to their credit, they out-pressured us and hunted us, and they were able to move the ball pretty easily on the day. And, we probably let ourselves down that first 3 quarters defensively, so it was nice to finish strong and leaves a bit of a better taste in the mouth at the end of the day.
You did get 28 points down at the end of the third quarter. What was the message from the coach at 3-quarter time?
Start playing our way. Start getting to work, fight and scrap. It's pretty much what we want to do. The game, like I said, the game probably didn't look the way that we wanted it to for a long period of time, but that last quarter was pretty much how we wanted it to be. And, to North's credit again, we could only get there in the last quarter.
Taylor Adams was on fire in the last quarter. It was a great response. How happy were you with the way you fought back?
Yeah, great. Taylor's an absolute beast. It's like if you want someone to lead from the front and especially fight like he does, and it'd be nice to have a few of him out there, that's for sure. But, like I said, proud of the boys. Really gutsy win, and one to get on the right side of.
And what about yourself? You and Nathan Murphy, a pretty big clash in the back pocket there. How did you pull up, and how did Murph pull up as well?
I'm extremely sore. I don't really care how Murph pulled up. It was just a contest. Ultimately, I didn't see him, and he obviously didn't see me, and I think it was just us two in it. So, hopefully we don't have too many of those. It's normally Darcy that gets me, but I might have to try avoid him next time.
Good luck recovering from that, and enjoy the win.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
Jeremy Howe with Lauren Borden down in the Magpies rooms after another good performance. Flies Pies keep cruising towards a return to September football with that margin. 7 points in the end, 13-10-88 to 12-9-81. The Tigers and the Suns are back out there. The Oz kickers are scurrying off, so we're not too far away from the second half here. Richmond leading by 34 points. A few choice numbers from Michael Price.
Let's have a look at the collectives. Richmond 181 to 170 as far as the disposal count goes, so they're up there. When it comes to handballs, Richmond are plus 21, so doing a bit more running. Kicking efficiencies are around about the same at 67-68%. There's nothing in the clearances, 18 to 19 in favour of Richmond. Nothing in the tackles. There's only one the difference in favour of the Coast. But the big difference is 32 inside 50s to 27 in favour of Richmond. And when it comes to efficiency inside 50, that's the big number for me. Richmond with 20 shots from 32 inside 50s at 63%. The Gold Coast, 8 shots from 27. That's at 30%, and that's operating well below the AFL average. When it comes to individuals, Jack Bowes has 17 disposals and a couple of clearances, 4 inside 50s for the Coast. Ellis and Miller with 15 apiece. Tuke Miller has 6 clearances as well. But the Tigers, Dan Rioli, 19 disposals at 88% kicking efficiency. Delightful stuff. 2 tackles, 3 inside 50s. Nathan Broad's got 16. Prestia with 16 and 4 clearances. And Bolton with those Judd-esque numbers as compared by Quentin Hull. 15 disposals. He's got 6 clearances, 5 centre bounce clearances and 3 goals won. So there it is. Jason Ackermanis and Jeff White, our expert commentators here. Boys, the Gold Coast really competitive the first quarter. Richmond ran all over the top of them in that second term. They wasted their chances, the Gold Coast.
Well, those numbers, Whitey, are not that bad when you think about it in isolation. But, of course, it's just the sheer slickness and the ability for, I think, Richmond, they're using their speed and their setup to get this slingshot off the back of the half-back line. But they're not laying the finger on them, Gold Coast, not a finger. Their midfield is getting well beaten on the spread. I want to see Gold Coast. Their midfield is very important to them, and they need more impetus out of their Whitey.
But they need to get some turnovers forward to centre or through the centre. They're not. They're getting the ball deep in their back line. That's all. That's the only time they're getting the ball, because Richmond's just slingshot off the back half-back line short. Liam Baker having a field day there. Rioli's been really efficient. So they only get the ball when it's deep inside their back line. So they've got to push up. They've got to turn their head. They've got to get on the defensive side really quick and try and get some turnover through the midfield, because when those guys are rushing off the half-back line from Richmond, who's left out? It's the half forwards of the Gold Coast Suns.
Yeah, and I also think I want to see Gold Coast play on more and inside the corridor, because they'll go through the corridor, but they actually need to play on, as in handball receives and getting it into their forward line, because at the moment that's where you can catch Richmond out, because they're not as good as people think on the defensive side. Q.
You can have all the warm and fuzzy that you want of Stuart Dew getting a contract extension and the how good yet how far, and the 2 close losses, but the Suns have got to show something in the second half here.
They
to be brutal, and that's, this is a footy club which has never delivered on. Well, there's a bit of promise around, and it's not. I'm not trying to be too narrow here, but they need to show that the last couple of weeks is a part of a sustained climb, and something that is a little bit more than, just feel good.
Yeah, I'm a big second half coming up here.
Yeah.
This will tell us a lot, and I think we can get a lot more out of Gold Coast. They have really not played anywhere near their best, and they were very good last week and the week before. That's not good enough. This is where you make your money and you get into finals by winning games like this.
But Richmond has been out. This is how they've played throughout their premiership years. They've been sleek, clean, foot skills, hands, support, runs, been great.
Without Martin, without Lambert, without Floston, without Cochin, without Bolter, and Tom Lynch subbed out.
And Jack Rosser laid out. Umpire has the ball back in the middle of Carrara. Jared Witts versus Nang Curvis. Into the hands of Matt Rowell immediately, and he's tackled by both Prestia.
Well, that's the guy they need more out of, Rowell.
And Jack Graham balled up again, just thrown up. Noah Anderson with the clearance, inside 50, off the hands of Chol. Tracking back, Robbie Tarrant pushed off the ball there by Casbolt. Casbolt gathers, he's tackled by Baker and Jake Arts. He's still going. Now he's got Prestia, and the ball underneath Ben Ainsworth in the end. Thrown up 40 metres from the Suns' goal.
Witts with the tap down. Here comes Rowell. Hassled off it though by Graham of the Tigers. Picked up by Short. Hand pass to Baker. Kick from defensive 50. Clears the defensive zone. Marked by Jack Graham. At left half back, kicks Richmond to the wing. Revolt's got a couple to beat, and does. He wins the ricochet at ground level against Caleb Graham and Ellis. Revolt's kicked to half forward. Doesn't really advantage his teammates. Gathered by Ballard, who's tackled immediately by Cumberland. And in rugby league terms, it wasn't quite the Cumberland throw, but the young man with the tackle, he's had a good night so far. Ball up. Half forward for Richmond. Oh, Graham comes through, puts it on his boot, has a snap. First of the second half to the Tigers. Jack Graham just burst through the stoppage. And a fine right foot finish from 40 metres out means it's a 40-point lead for Richmond early in the third term. 10-8-68 plays 4-4-28.
Coach Killer on the other side there. Ellis, there's 2-on-1. Ellis has the jump on Revolt and his opponent and doesn't take the mark. Revolt ends up with the ball. That is what is killing the Gold Coast. You can't do those things when you outnumber them, Waddy.
Yeah, and there's no support there. Graham went through both Noah Anderson and Rao. I know they're two young up-and-coming kids, but Took Miller was off. He was off that stoppage there. He's got to push up and help out.
How would Lee Matthews react if you let a midfielder run through a couple of tackles at a stoppage like that, Aka?
Well, the wing sweeper would have been there to barrel him up, but that's poor.
Bounce in the middle. Tigers just going on their merry way. Nankervis knocks it down into the path of Arts. Now it's with Prestia. Prestia tackled. And Matt Rowell wraps him up to the umpire just in between the centre circles and the logo on the commentary side. Throws it up. Nankervis from the back position slapped it forward, but it was cut off there by Took Miller. Handball back to Holman. Kick to half forward. Casbolt spoiled by Dan Rioli from the front. Courageous stuff there from the Tigers, and they win the ball out. Handball looped over the top to Marlon Pickett, who dances a merry dance around Lukosius and then delivers an absolutely pinpoint pass out to Short. Now a long ball to right half forward. Big fly off hands, rove by Holman for the Gold Coast Suns. And now hassled Soldo. He tackled, got the ball off to Cumberland, who hooks it around the body. It's going to land in the pocket. Edwards got there first, but well hassled off it by Jack Bowes. Over the boundary line off hands in the left forward pocket for the Tigers. There'll be a throw in.
That little quick handball, Rodney Eade would hate that. He's like, oh, the pressure. No, you have it. No, you have it. No, you've got to take the pressure, take the tackler on. They're just not even doing that, Gold Coast.
Jason Nakamanis with you on Grandstand AFL. Throw in with the Tigers in attack again. Soldo and Witts share the ruck battle. There's a whistle in that contest. It's a Gold Coast free kick off the ruck battle. Jack Bowes in the periphery was disadvantaged illegally, so he takes the free kick, chips it to Ballard at fullback. He kicks it to halfback, and Collins marks. But what next for the Suns? Players streaming to the broadcast wing. Long for Oya. Couldn't get to it. Pickett coming in from the side. Takes the mark for Richmond. Number 50 in game 50. Kicks to half forward. Rao, though, with courage. Got back in front of the leading Bolton to mark at half back for the Suns. Kicks to the bullseye marked by Ainsworth. Ainsworth looking forward. He's got Swallow presenting at half forward. Lovely kick. Beautiful. Dave Swallow takes the grab 55 metres out. Now Casbolt leads to the pocket. Leaps, got a finger once, twice. Yep, pay that. 2 bites for Levi. He's paid the mark.
That was better, Q. Through the middle. Fantastic.
And they had some spread too. They had some forward spread. Yeah. They weren't actually running in tram lines. They were actually spreading, creating space behind them for other players to run into.
As well, and good kicks. Good kicks. They weren't hitting their targets in their second quarter in particular when they were out and running. Very frustrating if you're a Gold Coast coach, I tell you.
He's on track for his best year in front of the sticks, Levi Casbolt. When he was Carlton's leading goal kicker in 2017, he kicked 34 goals. He's got 27 to this point of the season. High right boot from Levi, tight pocket, angle. Across the face, stays in play for a moment before Nankervis taps it through for a point. Richmond by 39 at 10-8-68 to Gold Coast 4-5-29.
So doing it in increments of one, the Gold Coast. 39 points the margin to the Tigers. The Ollie plays on, it's a long kick towards the wing. Soldo, spoiled by Collins. Front and square was Anderson, tackled by Prestia. Still got a boot to ball. Gathered around his ankles by Ainsworth. Handball back to Lukosius, who's belted by Arts. Too high. The umpire.
Why he took so long there, Fisher, to make that call? That was definitely an easy free kick.
So Jack Lukosius, 70 from goal. Lovely right footer to the top of the goal square. Front and square McIntosh for the Tigers. Handballs it to Grimes, who does the defenders 101 thing and Rushes it through, 4 are behind. 10-8, 68, plays 4-5, 29.
He had a good lead there, just ignored him, went long to a pack. Very poor inside 50 there, Gold Coast.
And when they got the pack there too, it shows they're not working for each other. There's no spread.
Jeff White and Jason Ackermanis, your experts, as the Tigers inbound through Grimes. Long kick marked by Gold Coast Collins, who just whacks it back from whence it came. It pitches in front of Grimes and goes out of play. So back inside 50 for the Suns and a boundary throw in the left forward pocket. Gold Coast attacking the big screen end here as twilights become night. Gorgeous winter's day and great conditions for footy on the Gold Coast. Very shallow throw in. Witts gets to it, taps down to Miller. It's Took, the Suns. His rush kick on goal is marked by Richmond's Miller. So T Miller to B Miller, and now B Miller releases with the kick to the outer side. Looking for McIntosh, gathers on the bounce. He's got Sharp for company, but can get on his right boot. McIntosh, kick to the centre of the ground, and Bolton floated over the top of Holman to take another spectacular mark. He's on a tear, Shea Bolton. He plays on, kicks it deep to full forward. It might go all the way. It will for a point. Just wasn't straight enough.
That was a pass. He didn't quite mean that, but yes.
Yeah, went over the head of the forwards. Akas, 39 the lead to the Tigers.
And the Suns bring it back in quickly. Jared Witts with a fine lead to left half back to take the mark. Now he's got Ballard. 20-metre pass to him. Ballard's got a runner in Lukosius. Handball to him. Little sand wedge. Gets it to Ainsworth, who plays on around Dan Rioli. Long kick now. 1-on-1. Chol Grimes. Yeah. Chol got there. Grimes took his eyes off the ball and was too worried about where Chol was. And Chol followed the flight, took the mark. About 30 metres out, 45-degree angle to the left.
That's what I said at half-time. They got to play on. He saw Ainsworth, who's having a really good game. Quiet second quarter, we know, but just played on. There was a little bit of stuffing around there with the defence of Richmond, but of course big Charlie's out the back and now he has a shot on goal, and there's not much you can do if they're going to play like that for Richmond and the Gold Coast.
Only the 4 touches today so far. 1 goal, 1 to Mab Chol. Cult figure on the Gold Coast. Leans back and pokes it wide. He didn't kick through that ball at all. 4-7-31, trails 10-9-69. It is a 38-point margin to the Tigers. 8 minutes gone, third term.
Yeah, eight possessions a game he gets, so he's on track, Charlie.
Dan Rioli with no pressure at full back can have 2 bounces to the pocket, almost a third to D50. Decides to hand pass to Broad, made it his problem. Chol tackles him. Ump says out of bounds, throw it in. That was, and we got a text. Did Acker say, Rodney? Yeah, you did.
I did.
Referring to your old Bulldogs coach.
Lee Matthews wouldn't have to worry about that.
The old, make it someone else's problem with the handball.
Yeah, take the pressure, and then you just give it and say, no, you take it.
Boundary throw in on attacking 50 for Gold Coast. And then Curvis misses it, rove by Took Miller of the Suns. Hand passes to Roses, kicks across attacking 50 to Oya. Can't pick it up. Under pressure from the Tigers. Rioli taps it to the advantage of Prestia. Richmond's ball. Hand pass to Ben Miller. Kicks it to the wing, marked by Castagna. He wants to wheel inboard and go. There's just a smell about the Tigers tonight. They've got their tails up. That kick goes off hands and out of play. That probably doesn't smell. That doesn't sound all that right, what I was trying to say there.
No, there's a scent. There is a scent.
You know what I was trying to say? It's out of bounds. Out of side. No. Yeah, the script won't look good when I say there's a smell about the Tigers with their tails up. But I've just realised how that came out.
That's right. They've got the scent in the nostrils. Let's put it that way. As Holman gathers for the Gold Coast. He's turned it over, though. It's pushed inside. Attacking 50 for the Tigers. They're relentless at the moment. Whistle on play. And it's going to go to the Gold Coast Suns, and there's a chorus of boos. That will tell you how many Richmond fans are in the house. Charlie Ballard will get the free kick inside defensive 50 for the Gold Coast Suns. Goes to right half back to find Collins. They're held up again because the Tigers are really well structured in front of them. They're going to try and go laterally and across the field. Swallow does well to run back inside defensive 50, but Richmond have really swept across the field. They're moving nicely. Sliding defence. The chipping ball was beautiful to Anderson. Now they've got an overlap. He approaches centre wing, commentary side. Ball just a little bit too big there for Flanders, but he held his ground. Gathers behind. Rioli cleans him up. He loses the ball. Now it's picked up for the Suns. On 50. Fiorini. Measured pass. Ainsworth. That's a really good grab under enormous pressure there.
That was a wonderful grab, and 50.
50, yeah.
And 54, what was it? There was a bit
Rioli's mouthing off at the decision not to award him a free kick for holding the ball.
Yeah.
Well, that's fair enough. That was 2 plays ago, Daniel, so don't worry about that. Ben Ainsworth, 17th disposal, make that the 18th. He'd shoot for his second goal from point-blank range.
I think that if you looked at that play, though,
Here he comes, Ben Ainsworth. Pops it over the goal umpire's head to put the Suns a little closer. 10-9-69, plays 5-7-37. Ben Ainsworth second.
I was just going to say then, Whitey, that kick that was off half-back, just where the logo is on the 50, the Telstra logo, they went wide. They needed to come inboard with that next kick, but they got away with it. They had a little bit of a lofty kick, which then overcommitted the Richmond defender. They were able to play on, and it's the play on that set up that particular play.
And it's a play on. And what happens when it's going inside forward 50? 1-on-1. The last one was Marvio Chol, 1-on-1. That was with Ainsworth, 1-on-1. It's because they're getting it inside their forward 50 quicker. So they've got to continue to start doing this and just slowly chip away. If they can win this quarter, then they can just try and set themselves up. But they've got to keep chipping away at the way they're playing at the moment.
Definitely.
So 30 points was the lead at half-time, 32 currently. Centre bounce, Wits the tap down. Dow shrugged off at one by Rowell of the Suns. Hand pass to Swallow. Clearance for Gold Coast. Kick wide to the pocket, too wide for Chol. And Miller was there with him as the ball bounces out of play.
Well, that's better though, Q. Out of the centre.
Yep.
Just get the momentum, and now they've got to hold it. This is where they broke down the first half. Richmond's ability to get from their back 50 to forward line was really easy.
Ball thrown in. Day at the front of the ruck contest. Taps down for the Suns, but rode by Dow of Richmond. Hands it to Ralph Smith. Hands to McIntosh. Kick smothered. Ricochet to Lukosius. Gave to Swallow. Dispossessed. Ricochet to Took Miller. Miller kicks the goal. 2 in a row to the Suns. And the didgeridoo signifies perhaps a little bit of a resurgence here from the locals. 26 points the difference. Richmond 10-9-69. Gold Coast 6-7-43. First goal of the night for Took Miller.
Yeah, that's better. That's where they've got to get. Ainsworth, a couple of plays before, got a hand on that. Richmond were going forward. They had men going out. Got his hand on it. Went to a stop play in the boundary thrown in the half on the wing there. So their message at halftime was we've got to get on the defensive side really quick. They're opening us up. We've got to try and turn the ball over. That didn't happen in the first half. That defensive forward pressure and resulted in a goal.
That was all about that pressure. That's all that was, Q.
Now, it looks like Malcolm Roses might be out of the game for the Gold Coast Suns. He's on the bench, so we'll have a look at what's going on there as the clearance comes through for Richmond, and there's a tackling effort there. Gold Coast Suns fans wanted holding the ball, nothing doing, just forward of the centre circles. There'll be another ball up as Big Ivan Soldo goes up against Wits. Soldo slaps it down. It's stolen by Rowell. Handball back to Fiorini from a standing start. Up and down. Casbolt contests. Front and square Edwards. The run there was beautiful from short, and the long kick. Rewalt did beautifully against 2 players. Brought it to ground. Suns will clear though. Sharp outside of defensive 50. Back now to Atkins, who is on the field. He is the medical sub, and Roses is out of the game. He kicks it long down the commentary wing. Holman follows it out in front of the grandstand commentary box. Will get a throw in. So that's confirmed. Malcolm Roses out of the game for the Suns, and Rory Atkins, the former Adelaide Crow, is in as the medical sub.
That'll be a hamstring, I'd say.
We'll get it confirmed when we get news. Boundary throw in. Miller with the clearance for Gold Coast. Chips it to half forward. Looking for Holman. Couldn't mark under the pressure from Ralph Smith, but rode by Swallow. Kicks forward to Chol. Tumbling forward, Big Daddy Chol takes the mark, 40 out.
Rowell and Took Miller have turned the game for the Suns right now.
Can I put David Swallow in that category as well, Jeff?
Correct. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
But just in and under, there was 3 clearances there from Matt Rowell.
10-2 this quarter, the clearances.
Yeah.
And a hamstring confirmed for Mal Roses Jr. So,
well, he had it strapped as well, and I saw him running off, and he looked a bit ginger.
Big kick for Chol. Suns looking for 3 in a row to narrow the margin to 20 points. 40 out, slightly left of centre. Left foot from the ex-Tiger is through the middle. Jason and Jeff, you asked for a Gold Coast response. We've seen the start of it. 20 points the diff. Game not done yet. 15 and a half third term.
And we said it needed to start from the centre, and it started that way. That's exactly what they needed to do. They've lifted. Now they've got to keep momentum. When you get the momentum, it's so hard to get the momentum. When you've got it, though, you've got to maintain it. Now it's back on Richmond's terms. What have you got now, Richmond? You've got to try and hold the ball. Go and try and suck the momentum out of the Suns at the moment.
Well, Charlie's just gone off, but you remember that last shot that he just sort of pushed a little bit left. He had the exact same spot. So it's great to see the big fella having a great season, but learning his lessons and getting him back in the game.
Yeah, he's definitely become that cult hero on the Gold Coast, Mab Shoal. 2 goals, 2. And Tuke Miller, 11 clearances now. Back into the middle of the ground. The centre circles, and who have we got there? As Thompson Dow comes up with Noah Anderson. Now it's a replay ball up. Dan Rioli at the back. Handball now. It's back to Baker. There's a long kick towards Morris Rioli in a one-on-one against Lemons. Rioli goes to ground. Lemons tracks the ball back inside. So does Rioli. Gathers with one hand. Almost breaks the tackle. Got the handball off and taken over the boundary line there by Cumberland. But boy, slippery little customer. Morris Rioli Jr. Throw in right forward pocket.
What about the tackle, though? Just grabbed on and just held on to the top of the jumper. He was out and gone, Morris Rioli Jr.
The Tigers need one. Still leading by 20 points, but the last 3 goals of the game to Gold Coast. Throw in with Richmond in attack. Witts palms down to the front of the pack. Bowes is jumped on by Arts. Ump says, got to use it. Oh, holding the ball.
It's baffling. That is baffling. All he had to do was tap it forward too. He had a teammate free. I know he got done for that. I don't know how, because he had no pry. He just picked it up and they jumped on it.
So Jake Arts has a chance to stem the tide for the Tigers. 45 degrees to the right of centre and 40 metres out. Around 18,000 in the house, lots of yellow and black, and they'll be roaring their approval if this goes through from Jake Arts, just to stem the tide a little. Fine right foot drop punt. Good finish. His first. And Richmond back out by 26 points at 11.975 to 7.749. 18 minutes played third term. You're hearing it all through the national broadcaster. We are Grandstand AFL with ABC Sport, Jason Ackermanis and Jeff White, your experts.
That's the settler they needed, the Tigers.
Bit lucky.
Just the momentum was going so hard towards the Suns, so put it back on their terms.
Well, I just want to see how long Chol stays off, for example. They've now got that, guys like, Bolton comes back into the middle. They get their A-graders back in there. What's going to happen here? I see, now that Tuke Miller's out of there, Rao's got to play a few more minutes in there. He's very important, but they need a little bit more, the Gold Coast Suns.
36 inside 50s to 38 in favour of Richmond, but their conversion rate so much better than the Gold Coast. Richmond leading by 26 points. Back into the middle. This one's extracted by Noah Anderson. That's a long bomb to the top of the square, and Dylan Grimes beautifully handled Sam Day. And when I say handled, he got him out of the way, took the mark and hit Prestia with a magnificent pass into the pocket.
Rolls off the back pocket, Dion Prestia. Drives Richmond to the wing. 2-on-1, Suns favoured. Knuckled to ground level, but Graham's there for Richmond. Roves, hand passes to Bolton in the middle of the ground. Kicks to Morris over his head. Bowes almost took the mark for the Suns. Got up with the footy, plays on. Hand passes to Rowell at half-back. Good kick for Witts. Out on the wing side of the centre square, the western wing side. He's just going to have to hold up, Jared Witts. He's looking very wide. He's got sharp. I don't think he really likes that option. So he's going to go down the line. Kicking it towards Sam Day, and Holman marks. Got Baker out of the way. Takes the grab, 60 out. Plays on with his left boot. Casbolt the lead. Over his head. Out the back. Here's Oya, the PNG boy. Rose. Snaps. Goals! From Island Paradise to Surfers Paradise. Ace Oya has kicked a goal for the Suns to keep them in it. 11.975 to 8.755.
A hard-fought goal there, but don't we love him when he gets the ball and when he gets going? I mean, he's so exciting and quick, Whitey, but again, the ability, not the best kick in Levi Casbolt, but over the back, and it just broke the tackle beautifully, but still one-on-one, Waddy.
Just kept his feet, and Casbolt too, leading up one-on-one. They're getting one-on-ones now in their forward line. That first contest that went in their forward line in this quarter was a massive pack. Now they're starting to get some spread. Marvio Charles back into the forward line, and Cook Miller back in the midfield.
I had it pointed out to me that there were other players from PNG that has played in the AFL. Mel Michael for one, Aidan Bowener for another one, but he's the first one to learn the game in PNG and then come over here.
Oh, wow.
So well done to you. Away go Paul Oya and the Gold Coast as Ballard kicks the ball back down the commentary wing once again. Daniel Rioli cuts it off, disposal 23, and the handball off to Baker. Long one inside 50. There he is again. Sam Collins with the motorcycle mustache takes a beautiful defensive mark and plays on.
20 points to lead the Tigers, but you sense momentum is changing at Carrara. Switch to the right back pocket for Bowes. Marks and transfers to the wing. Uncontested mark taken by Ainsworth. Oh no, Atkins, should I say, out there. Atkins kicks infield, the sub injected into the game. He kicks it to Ellis. Takes the mark. No, it was Ainsworth before, and now here is Atkins with the bounce through the bullseye. Left boot inside 50, Grimes. Read it beautifully, left his man. Takes the defensive mark for the Tigers. Hand pass to Dan Rioli. Has a bounce to defensive 50. Kick to the wing, finds Prestia. Marks and hand passes to Castagna. Runs to halfway, drills it to Jack. Rebolt forward to the wing, Marks. Turns, kicks immediately, out on the full. Trying to get it to half forward. Or was it not out on the full?
He's called it, landed on the line.
Boundary umpire was closer than us. We'll take his word for it. Must have caught a bit of the chalk. Speaking of catching chalk, you can catch the Wimbledon finals on ABC tonight and tomorrow night. Throwing on half forward for Richmond.
Richmond had the outnumber 3-2 there, and Rewalt missed the target. The throw in. It's taken there in the ruck. And Jack Graham has completely wrapped up Matt Rowell there and buried him into the Carrara turf.
That was a bear hug. What about out here, though? The slip from Collins. Oh, killer.
The throw up from the umpire. Witts now taps it down to Anderson. Gathered when he didn't have the ball. Picked up there by Tommy Dow. Toes it to the top of the square. That's gathered there by Cumberland. Oh, there's the Cumberland throw, He's picked it up, got it onto his boot. Cut off there by Fiorini, who belts it down the outer side.
Ainsworth's got 3 against him, and Pickett conspires to give it away from him. Got it to Miller, hands it back to Pickett. Richmond at half forward. Marlin runs to 55, kicks it to full forward. Atkins and Bolton. Atkins punches it into the behind post for a boundary throw-in.
Hasn't the game lifted? Oh, wow.
Richmond by 20 points as we get closer to three-quarter time. Tigers 11-9, 75. Suns 8-7, 55. Suns with 4 of the last 5 goals. Throw in Richmond in attack. Arts tries to hack it over his head. Misses everything. Kicks it out of bounds on the full. Free kick to the Suns in the left back pocket.
Well, fellas, great news. I found the remote.
Thanks, Acker.
Just got to tell you, we thought it went missing.
Just got a little bit carried away with the monitor in here before. Brandon Ellis, 2-time premiership player with the Tigers, playing his 50th game for the Gold Coast Suns against his old club. A long kick, just short of centre wing, off the hands of Witts, front and square, sharp. He tumbles one down the wing. Dan Rioli at the back, sublime game. Disposal 25, handball back to Baker. Down the line, it bounces off the manly chest of Witts. Now it's picked up by Arts. Oh, slick handball. Dow, Edwards, Castagna, top of the square. Bolton, and he gathers, and he snaps. That is genius. Now it's hit the post. Oh, my goodness, that was a scintillating play by the Tigers for one behind. 11-10-76, plays 8-7, 55, 21 points to the margin. Tigers lead, 24.5 gone third term.
Had to earn it, though. They had to earn every possession, the Tigers then.
He looks dynamite tonight, Shea Bolton, as Ellis runs out of the goal mouth, kicks the Suns back into the field of play. To a packet left half back. Day, the most likely, couldn't mark, knuckles it out of play, throw in. Nearly 25 minutes, third term.
This is where the Suns have lifted, Q. Just these stop plays. They've had repeat stop plays this quarter.
Yeah, Miller, Swallow, Rowell, that foot brigade in the engine room's picked up. Here's the throw in, shallow. Soldo had a big swing at it, and it came back to his hands. Roves it from 55. Soldo kicks it around the boundary line, out of bounds on the full. And a free kick to go Gold Coast's way in the left back pocket. And Caleb Graham's going to kick in for the Suns. using his right boot to drive it towards the half-back flank. A 2-on-2 contest. Through the fingers of Casbolt, back of the pack. Rioli has a rare fumble and fumbles it out of play for a throw-in just shy of the wing.
Big 5 minutes here, boys. If the Gold Coast can just snag another one, maybe two.
Yeah.
It's back really on. It's a really good game if they can do that.
Throw-ins right next to the interchange gates. Jason Ackermanis, Jeff White with expert comments here on Grandstand AFL. Witts slaps it down. Oh, Tuke Miller tried for the soccer off the ground. Missed the ball. Picked up by Prestia. On the right boot. Tumbles it inside 50. Edwards held. Gold Coast with the ball. Now it comes outside. Swallow to the wing, to the logo. Casbolt the target, spoiled by Tarrant. Off the toe of Lukosius into the centre of the field.
There he is.
Oyer, speedster, handball to Casbolt. Casbolt measures a pass looking for Fiorini. Spoiled by Pickett, but Fiorini regathers off the toes of Ballard. He keeps following the right half forward. He soccers forward again and again. It goes over the boundary line. He's going to get pinged. He's going to get pinged. He ran 100 metres to kick the ball.
Free kick to Richmond. At left half-back, it's Short, kicking it back to the wing. Revolt the target, fisted away from him. Back of the pack, Cumberland, though, rose for the Tigers. The man subbed in for the hamstrung Lynch. Kicks to full forward. Bolton's out the back. He gathers, he shimmies, he shakes it as an air shot. He's holding the ball. Tried to put it on his boot, got tackled, missed it.
Tell you what,
and that perhaps... Oh, it's the poetic licence of the turning of the tide here at Carrara.
And he had someone free in the goal square. He had to hand pass it over.
Had done nothing wrong all night till that moment.
Jason Castagna in the goal square doing the moving pictures. What about me? That just... He torched him. Simply torched him. The kick goes inside 50. Ellis goes back. I can't believe that from Bolton. Now Ellis goes out to Miller. Miller now, this game has gone into high-octane territory. Lukosius now approaches the back of the centre square. He gets around Rioli. Long kick and drills it down the throat.
They've got to lower their eyes, the Suns.
It was beautifully done by Miller for Richmond, who took the mark in front of Chol.
3 minutes to the break. Really important 3 minutes, you get the feeling, particularly for Gold Coast, as Prestia marks at half-back, transfers to Tarrant. Tarrant chips to McIntosh. Tigers to halfway. Now, the long kick towards the pocket from Camden McIntosh. Ralph Smith. Cumberland flew. Couldn't mark. Rode by Ellis. Hands it to Caleb Graham. Kick across the face of goals, intercepted by Pickett. And he went to play on, and then the ump says, no, you can't. And Jack Rewell yells at him, go back and have a set shot.
I think they're up here, Q. That entry, Charlie's got to be a lot better that see it coming in. Come at the ball carrier or take him deep so he couldn't intercept that mark. But then again, not the best decision. Needed more options coming forward there. They did everything right, the Suns. Got through the middle. Couldn't make it work.
So the angle is acute enough in the left forward pocket, but Pickett's only 30 metres out, already has one. He's missed everything almost. Just squeezes through for a behind. That would have been a big goal close to three-quarter time. It's not. It's a point, and it's the lovely scoreline of 11-11, 77, playing 8-7-55.
Just rolls off the tongue. Now Jack Bowes in defensive area for the Gold Coast Suns. Handball to the run of Ballard. That's a little chipping pass to find Jack Bowes right on the paint of 50.
They're out over this side here.
He goes to go laterally, and luckily he was spoiled by Sam Collins, because otherwise Cumberland was off to the races for Richmond. They've got the ball, the Suns at half-back. David Swallow in front of the interchange gates. He holds it up. The Tigers are structured beautifully in front of him. Man-on-man stuff. He goes down the line. Chol in the front position, spoiled there by Miller. That's Miller for Richmond. At the ground, Jack Graham, handball to Nankervis, long kick. The Suns spoil each other. Picked up by Bolton, that's dangerous. He scoots inside 50, he didn't torch this one. He passed it to Jack Rewalt. 20 metres out, and a slight angle to the left. He can play on it any second here, Jack Rewalt.
Great kick from Bolton. But what about the turnover here on the wing there from the Suns?
They were out. But Jack Rewalt curls the right footer around, makes no mistake, he loves it here at Carrara. That's his second. The Tigers 12-11-83, play 8-7-55. They're back out to 28 points.
They're playing much better than the Suns. Admittedly, this here, there's a little contest. He tried to flick it back, but he didn't want to take it on the Gold Coast Suns play, when in the end all they had to do was attack it, and they had 3-on-1 and they get out, all of a sudden they're inside forward 50. So I'm thinking that if they can continue this momentum, Gold Coast, it's got to be a big last quarter. Then they might not be out of the game just yet.
It's a huge goal though, Acker. There's only and Whitey, only 50 seconds left in the quarter now. 28 the diff.
You got to see what their fitness is like. They're definitely running across the ground much better than Richmond, but how much is this taken out of them? That's what we'll see in the last quarter.
Seriously, the way that Bolton's playing, you sort of forget for a moment that Dustin Martin's not there today.
Good replacement.
Oh,
pretty
a different kind of guy, but he's having that type of match-defining performance.
Yes, indeed. As the umpire, just they're good bouncers. It's a hard job. It's a little bit off, and then they're going to call it back.
47 seconds left in the third quarter. Richmond out by 28 points. Restart in the middle. No way through for Dow. Picked up by Ainsworth of Gold Coast. Rush kick to half forward beyond the pack. Chol has a fumble. Goes again. Has a second fumble. Can't pick it up. Picked up by McIntosh of the Tigers. Tackled by Holman. Got a hand pass clear to Broad though at half back. Kicks the Tigers out of immediate danger to the half to the wing. Nankervis fists the pack. Rioli comes through. Tackled off the ball. Picked up by Swallow of the Suns. Whistle. Hand pass in Board. No advantage taken. And Swallow wants to... No, it's the Coaches' ball.
Downfield. Better be quick. We're going to run out of time.
65 from goal. The Coaches kicks to full forward. Chol flies. Can't mark. Rope by Pickett. Hacked it out with a handball to Nankervis in the pocket. Went to the deck. The big man picks it up. Hands it to Short. Short runs the boundary line towards defensive 50 and kicks the Tigers down the western wing. Right on the siren of three-quarter time. So after all of that, Gold Coast 8 into Richmond's deficit. Well, Richmond's lead, its deficit, Gold Coast deficit that being, only by a goal. There was 34 points the difference at half-time. It's now 28 at three-quarter time.
It's a shame. They got a soft goal too, Richmond, early. They kicked one that was not really too much, particularly early in the quarter. But why do you just think that if they can just play like that a little bit more?
I'll give the score 12-11, 83 Richmond to Gold Coast 8-7, 55. Bolton with 3 goals, Revolt with 2 goals, Cumberland 2 goals, singles to Edwards, Short, Arts and Graham and Pickett, while for Gold Coast 2 to Chol, 2 to Ainsworth and singles to Holman, Fiorini, Miller and Oye.
Yeah, better quarter from the midfield. We talked about that, Whitey.
Yeah,
big improvement.
They had to lift and it was driven there by Noah Anderson a little bit, but Rao. Rao was, and when you mentioned it in just near half-time, he had to lift. I think he only had 8 possessions to half-time. He certainly lifted, got his body in front, and just made a big difference, being able to get the ball out. But, just a good turnaround there from the Suns. But how much has that zapped their energy?
Yeah, thanks to Henry from Melbourne with your text message. Cracking game this, lads. I agree. Yes, very entertaining. The number is 0437 774 774. G'day to Rex from Mosman Park in Perth. He says, guys, it's a miserable afternoon in Perth. Cooking a casserole to eat whilst watching the Dockers this evening. So, love your commentary, especially Acker's left field view of proceedings. Good on you, Rex.
It's generally just the whole view. It's the left and right.
Left, right, up,
and the centre.
And down. Three-quarter time, we'll pause on that. Richmond leading by 28 points. Hope you're enjoying this one through ABC Sports Grandstand AFL.
Everything I've overcome, I'm feeling really, really proud of myself and the team and the level I'm playing, and feel like I'm probably playing some of my best tennis.
Tune in Sunday night as Nick Kyrgios plays off in the Wimbledon men's final. Can Kyrgios prove all the doubters wrong and claim his first Grand Slam title? Live coverage of every moment from 11 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time on ABC Radio and ABC Sport Digital. The 2022 AFL Premiership season.
Grandstand AFL. On ABC Radio and ABC Sport Digital.
Ball up, half forward for Richmond. Graham comes through, puts it on his boot, has a snap. First of the second half to the Tides.
Here he comes, Ben Ainsworth. Pops it over the goal umpire's head to put the Suns a little closer.
Richmond hands it to Ralph Smith, hands to McIntosh, kick smothered. Ricochet to Lukosius, gave to Swallow, dispossessed. Ricochet to Tuke, Miller kicks the goal. 2 in a row to the Suns. Boundary throw in. Miller with the clearance for Gold Coast, chips it to half forward. Looking for Holman, couldn't mark under the pressure from Ralph Smith, but rode by Swallow. Kicks forward to Chol. Tumbling forward, Big Daddy Chol takes the mark, 40 out. Big kick for Chol. Suns looking for 3 in a row to narrow the margin to 20 points. 40 out, slightly left of centre. Left foot from the ex-Tiger is through the middle. Roaring their approval if this goes through from Jake Arts just to stem the tide a little. Fine right foot drop punt. Good finish. Coleman marks, got Baker out of the way, takes the grab, 60 out, plays on with his left foot. Casbolt the lead, over his head, out the back. Here's Oya, the PNG boy. Rose, snap, goal!
But Jack Rebolt curls the right footer around, makes no mistake, he loves it here at Carrara. That's his second.
This is the 2022 AFL Premiership season.
On ABC Radio and ABC Sport Digital.
Richmond by 28 points. Three-quarter time huddles have formed. And the final addresses being given by coaches Hardwick and Dew here. You're with ABC Sport. Richmond 12-11-83 to Gold Coast's 8-7-55. There are 2 games tonight in the Saturday of round 17 at the Adelaide Oval. Port Adelaide will take on Greater Western Sydney. Meanwhile at Docklands, St Kilda takes on the Fremantle Dockers, and Andrew Mays is there to set the scene.
Quentin, this should be an absolute ripper tonight. Underneath the roof, nice and chilly outside. Beanies on inside, but it is going to be a hot start to this one. Ben Long and Darragh Joyce come in for the Saints. Dougal Howard out with that knee, and also Hunter Clark, who was injured in that sickening collision late last week. A week is a long time in footy too. It was only about 10 days ago that the Saints were under the pump. They came out last week and were very impressive against the Blues, and then re-signed their coach Brett Ratton. So they are riding high at the moment. Will look to continue the momentum against Fremantle, who, if they're good enough to win tonight, will go equal top of the AFL ladder with only a handful of rounds to go. So their coach Justin Longmuir putting them in a lovely position with the run towards the finals. No change for the Dockers in what will be Caleb Sarong's 50th game. Meanwhile, Jack Billings plays his 150th for the Saints. A lot on the line tonight for both of these teams. St Kilda could be inside the 8 if they win well enough, and Freo could be equal top. It should be an absolute classic. Looking forward to bringing it to you from here. Luke Ball, Nathan Burke to join me, Kieran Peterson on the boundary line, and Jess Webster to call the action as well. Quentin.
Hope you get a good one, Maisie. So no matter where you're listening, you can always make your choice via the AFL app. Look for the ABC Worm, a call of that game from Docklands, as well as Port taking on Greater Western Sydney. And a reminder that we'll have the women's singles final from Wimbledon tonight on digital radio. And, of course, the men's singles final tomorrow. Final term is about to get underway. Tigers 28 to the good of the Suns. Gold Coast doing everything it can to try and stay in this finals race.
Nankervis versus Witts in the ruck. Give that one to Jared Witts for the Coast. He got it down to Rowell, who was tackled immediately. He spills the ball. Prestia gathers, wheels around, the handball to Thompson Dow. A long right footer to the goal square. It's a 2-on-1. Gold Coast with the numbers. Oh, he dropped a pud. Now it's with the Tigers at ground level. Lemons picks it up. He's tackled by Arts. Ball stuck underneath the pair of them, umpire says. I'll haul it up 30 metres out.
Boy, oh boy, did everything right too. His teammate just let him have a free run at it and drop the sitter.
So we'll have the ruck contest. Witts taps it back. Soldo now, he gathers. He's tackled by big Jared Witts and Took Miller for the Suns, and umpire will throw it up 40 metres out from the Tigers' goal.
Tossed in the air, Soldo with the palm down, but crashing through Lemons for Gold Coast. Clears it with his right boot, but straight to Pickett. Off Richmond, marks it just beyond defensive 50 for Gold Coast. So that's left half forward for Richmond, 60 out. Pickett called to play on. Man on the mark comes at him. Pickett now uses his left boot to kick it high to the pocket. Thompson almost split the pack taking that. Didn't hold it to deck, and it ricochets out of play.
Oh, man.
Wowee, he is on a tear. Latest in the cricket, by the way, Sri Lanka 1 for 49 in reply to Australia's 364. 364 all out Australia. Steve Smith remaining 145 not out. That's day 2 of the second test in Galle.
So here at Carrara, it's 28 points the margin. The Tigers leading early in the final quarter. Throw in inside 50 for the Tigers. Picked up by Soldo, the big ruckman. He's gang tackled, held up, and the umpire will throw it up 35 metres from goal. It's moved about 5 metres in the last 2 minutes. Now Soldo. Oh, the tap down to Arts outside of the right shoe, and it kicks it to the goal square. Cut off goalkeeper style by Sam Collins, who marks, has a bounce and plays on with a handball.
Got it to Caleb Graham, who's now a little bit stymied at half-back. Big shepherd from Collins to get Riewoldt out of the way. Graham's kick, taken by Lukosius on the flank. Kicked it to the wing indiscriminately. Picked up by Miller of Richmond. Hands it to Short. Short from forward of halfway. Kicks the Tigers back into attack. Graham got to the front of the pack to punch it away for the Suns. Roved by Anderson. Hand pass to Ellis, who can run off half-back. Hands it to the middle of the ground. Bounce favoured Ainsworth. He picks it up. Hands it to Holman. Hands it to Miller, who's run to 50. They've run the gauntlet down the middle, and then Miller chips it short. I don't think it was 15, but the mark's been paid anyway to Swallow. 30 metres out.
Jeez, they nearly got through that. Stop play that Richmond had. Arts is all by himself, no touch and feel. Acker, he could have run in an open goal, and fortunate he had a shot, and just that speed of movement there through the midfield.
Well, Tuke Miller had two options there. He picked Swallow, could have had Casbolt, but that's impressive running.
The veteran Dave Swallow from straight in front needs to kick this goal, and does. Goal umpire went close to the upright left side of the kicker, but it's through. 22 points to lead to Richmond. 3 minutes played final term at 12:11:83 to 9:7:61. Dave Swallow with his first goal of the night.
It comes back to the centre, Acker. This is where it's really important. They've kicked one now, the first goal of the last quarter. Really important now, the centre now.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of theatre from the umpire, but I reckon here you're right though, Whitey. I mean, they come out a couple of times this quarter too easily. You've got to watch Prestia. If you don't know he's the target, or Bolton, like, why wouldn't you be man on man with him?
They've just got to be touch and feel, don't they?
Centre bounce clearances now in favour of Richmond, 10-9. You've got Tuke Miller, who's got 4 for the Suns, but 7 between Prestia and Bolton for Richmond out of the centre. This one is for Matt Rowell, who actually shrugged off Bolton, did beautifully, the man-child, got the handball back to Witts. He kicked it to the left half forward position, fisted away from Casbolt by Tarrant, roved there by Nankervis. The no-look handball from Bolton was a bit fancy, cut off by Casbolt. Shrugged a tackler, handball to neighbouring Flanders inside 50, and Chol, he used his body beautifully, Big Mab, took the mark 30 out on a tight angle. There's a bit going on behind play between Nick Holman
and Dylan Grimes.
But nah, that's just the sideshow. On the main stage, it's Mab Chol. He's going to have a crack 30 metres out on a tight angle to the left.
Suns haven't been this close if he kicked it since the... hold on.
And there's another bit of stuff going on behind play. The players are looking for a reversal here, the Richmond players. Grimes right into Holman.
They haven't been this close since early second term, Pricey.
Well, let's see what Mab Chol can do. Leans back, it's across the face. Big fly from Ainsworth, but into the behind post. No, it's actually gone through for a behind. 12-11 plays 9-8. It's now 21-point margin in favour of Richmond.
Well, when you've got that many X's out there, Pricey, tempers are sure to fray.
Yes.
Here's the inbound from Ralph Smith. Long to half-back. Riewoldt flew, almost marked, couldn't. Roved by McIntosh. Hacks the hand pass clear, but picked up by Anderson of the Suns. Will kick Gold Coast back to full forward. High, it's a 3-on-3. Casbolt almost couldn't take the mark. Roving Fiorini nudged off it. Damrioli comes through. Flips the hand pass to nobody. Picked up by Anderson. Right foot snap from 40. Makes the difference. 15 points.
Oh, wow. What a goal.
And Noah Anderson was the one that kicked it inside forward 50. He's the one that's gone to the... So their offensive spread now from stoppages is really lifted.
They had to. Hugh, what's the score?
Tigers 12-11-83. Suns 10-8-68.
Just watching the replay on that one, Acker and Whitey, I've just got to watch the actual ability of Levi Casbolt just to run straight up the middle and put the fear of God into Ralph Smith first, and then he gets right through and left a pathway for Anderson.
Oh, it was like a crevasse by the time he came through. Just bulldozed him over. Great work, Levi. Unheralded, unrewarded, that stuff, but...
Yeah. And there's been a lot of that this quarter and last quarter, a lot of unrewarded running from the Suns that's created space for the teammates.
Well, you've got a contest here at Carrara, back into the middle. It's a clearance for the Suns. Matt Rowell, inside 50, Chol, held by the arm. No, nothing happening. The ball hits the ground. David Swallow now fighting for it. Beautifully picked up McIntosh. He's gone straight to right half back, and who else that Shea Bolton takes the mark. He puts the skates on. Handball to Ralph Smith. Down the line, beautifully delivered to Castagna.
Forward of the wing, has time to assess his options, decides that short over the man on the mark with chip and by person is the option. And it is Jayden Short who's slowing it up between wing and right half forward for Richmond. Infield on the 45, chip to McIntosh. McIntosh chips it back towards the boundary, got it to attacking 50 or thereabouts almost. Marked by Graham. And Graham, he chips it back infield to Ralph Smith. Tigers just taking a bit of heat out of the game here with this slower movement forward. Ralph Smith 60 out. Here's the long kick to deep in the pocket. Off hands rode by Ellis of Gold Coast. Hand pass to Caleb Graham. A tumbling, hoping clearance is out of bounds on the full. Free kick to Richmond. It'll be Ralph Smith's beyond scoring range. About 60 out at right half forward for the Tigers.
He's got the designer name, Hugo Ralph Smith, and he lowers the eyes and he hits McIntosh. Good lead, good pass too. McIntosh 55 from goal, right half forward. He just holds it up too. They know they've got the lead here at 15 points. They know the Suns have got a bit of a roll. He pops it to the pocket, off hands. Well done, Caleb Graham from the Suns, and it'll be a throw in 20 metres from the Richmond goal in right half. In the right forward pocket.
That's what clubs are good at. If they can't find the options, they try and get that stop play.
They do.
Boundary throw in. Witts beaten and Curvis for the tap, but roving is Bolton of Richmond. Under pressure, turns his hand pass over. Stolen by Anderson of the Suns. Rush kick, though, turned over straight to Tarrant, who marks it for Richmond. 70 out at right half forward.
Richmond set up so good in the back in their back defence. They've got to be really careful here, the Suns.
Tarrant wide to the pocket and revolts. Leading out. Uses Castagna as the step ladder to take a mark. Very tough angle for Jack. Hard on the boundary, 40 metres out.
That is exactly where you want your opposition forwards, key forwards in particular, have shots from. He's right on the boundary. He's nearly in the second row.
Jack Revolt has 2 goals tonight.
Haven't really seen much of him either. A bit scary.
He's looking to attempt the right foot banana from the pocket. He's hit it pretty well. Jack Revolt! Superstar! What a goal! His third. Tigers out by 21.
Low percentage shot. You couldn't get any lower, Q.
You would have loved it.
Oh, I would have kicked it too. It just kills you when you've got this momentum. You do everything right. I mean, they get a shot from the boundary, Whitey, and it's such low percentage, and then he kicks just a chanana.
Yeah. Either him or Shea Bolton you would have in that position, and you would be 9 out of 10. They would go pretty close to making it.
It's that spot. Remember, Jeff, we did so many Richmond. That Dustin Martin one. Was it against the Bulldogs?
It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I can still hear you coming through my microphone.
It was worth it.
Well, the Tigers now 21 points in front. Doing it well here at Carrara, umpire with a perfect bounce. Soldo promotes it forward for the Tigers. Coming forward, Dan Rioli. Oh, he loses it. Toot Miller, handball now to the run of Flanders. Inside 50, Anderson. Now Sam Day. Oh, the pressure. The pressure made Sam Day kick it out on the full. And all the Tigers get around a little Morris Rioli Jr., who laid the pressure. It is going to be a free kick to the Tigers in the left back pocket. And you don't have to kick the outstanding goals when you nullify goals like that. Jason Ackermanis, Jeff White.
Sensational tackle.
Ben Miller's going to bring in from the left back pocket. It's a high kick to half back. Out the back row by Bolton. Another touch. A hand pass upfield taken by Castagna. Hand pass inboard, misses his target. Rolls to the bullseye, picked up by Ainsworth of the Suns. Hoping kick out in front of Levi. Big Kaz bolts after it. Tarrant's there with him. Tarrant wins the day. Tapped it to himself. Gathered the footy. Hand passes to Ralph Smith. Tigers out of trouble. Hand pass to the wing for McIntosh. Kick to half forward, marked by Revolt. 60 out. Takes a bounce. Chips it to Castagna. He got it on the half volley near the pocket. Weaves infield. Castagna hits the wrong side of the ball with his left-footed snap punt, and it's going to be a Gold Coast mark.
50.
Marked by Swallow on defensive 50. for the Suns. He's going to get up and play on and kicks it out to Sharp, who marks on the Nerang River wing. Score check at Carrara. Richmond by 21 points, 11.5 into the final term at 13-11, 89 to 10-8, 68.
Well, Sharp's got the ball just forward, a left half back. He needs to find some options. He lowers the eyes and spears a pass into Ainsworth onto the logo. The run of Tuke Miller, he's been doing it all day. Inside 50. Casbolt drops it with the one-hand juggler, gets it onto his right shoe and kicks it straight down the throat of Shane Edwards. But he plays for Richmond, and they're going to repel again, the Tigers. They're leading this one by 21 points, and we played 12 in the last quarter.
Short chip to Nankervis. Nankervis to the half-back flank with his kick for Dan Rioli. Takes the mark, wheels in board. Looks down, slips as he kicks. It goes skimming along the dewy turf towards Morris Rioli, but out of play off the pressure of Ballard. Boundary throw-in.
Great defence here from the Tigers. That ability, that turnover with Swallow, it would have been on. They would have been out there, the Suns, but Tigers just got on the defence really, really quick.
Well, they butchered that forward entry. They were out there, the Tigers.
Jason Acker-Madison, Jeff White with you. Boundary throw-in. Witts clearly palms down. Who's going to rove it? Tuke Miller's got his head over it. He's accosted by a couple of Tigers. Among them, Arts and also Short. And lock it in and a ball up on halfway on the western boundary wing.
Lee Fisher. Umpire throws it up. Prestia, who's just grown as the game's gone on. He gathers, he's pushed in the back. One either side of him in Sam Day and Braden Fiorini, and they had one hand in each side of his back. Chips it forward to the run of Bolton. Why wouldn't you? The handball back to Bolton from Arts on the boundary. Bolton delivers into the middle and hits the chest of Morris Rioli Jr. 30 metres out, more or less in front.
What a passage of play. That's the thing about Richmond tonight. They've been getting it forward. They've been chancing their arm. Bolton's been out, been on the wheels, and of course, what a centering pass. He could have had a shot then. But of course, no, he just did the team thing after that stuff up down forward where he just butchered it.
But that's when he's non-preferred.
That's when he's non-preferred, and it was absolutely immaculate. Morris Rioli Jr., he's only had the 2 touches. He's had 3 tackles. He comes in and pushes it to the right, one behind. Didn't read the script, Morris. 13, 12, 90, plays 10-8, 68, back to a 22-point margin. Richmond leading. 14 gone, final term.
Ellis long down the middle with a kick in. Off hands, middle of the ground, Oya couldn't pick it up. Picked up by Graham of the Tigers. He's tackled by Oya. Ace with the second effort. Wins the free kick for the Suns. Well done, young man.
Oh, that was fantastic second effort. Jeez, he's quick too over those first few metres.
From centre half back, Oya kicks wide, looking for Witts. It's on his head. He tries to mark it. Spoiled from behind by Tarrant. Rode by Casbolt. Hand pass to Fiorini. Tackled by Boltman. Locked up. No prior. Ball up.
Look at that then. Casbolt. Handball, not under pressure, right at the feet of his teammate.
Ball to be tossed in the air on the wing. 15 minutes final term. Tigers by 22 points. Witts taps it down boundary side for Swallow, who's tackled by Short as soon as he got it. Just got rid of the footy. Attacking it there was Flanders, went without it. Tigers ball. Dan Rioli gives to Edwards, hand pass in board. Now Smith tackled by Ace. Got him. Got the hand pass free though to Rioli, who turns it over. Here's hand pass stolen for a moment by Fiorini. Got it back. Hand pass stolen by Graham of Richmond. He's turned it over by hand. Picked up by Anderson in the middle of the ground for the Suns. Kicked it to half foot on the head of Casbolt. Knocks it away. Onto the wing. It's picked up by Swallow. Rush kick to half forward. The Tigers are all over it. Broad marks for Richmond at deep 50.
He gets it across now to Baker. Chased down by Chol. Still got the kick away to the outer wing. Ballard spoils Castagna. Takes it towards the boundary line. Did well. And that little bit of a chase.
That's the poise that they've got to have. I know it's game on. They're trying to rush it forward, but had so many numbers around Swallow just then. He just needed to use the hands.
So the throw in on the outer wing, the Nerang River side of the ground here at Carrara. It's Witts versus Soldo. Soldo forward to the hands of Thompson Dowdow. Jack Graham for the Tigers. He kicks it to the contest. It's going to be Cumberland at the front off his hands. He goes back to gather again. Second effort, nice from the young man playing his second game. Ball spills into the hands of Rewalt. Inside 50, Miller off his hand. That's Tuke Miller. And the Suns have the ball now. Jack Bowes in his hands. Spearing pass and missed Oya. He slipped as the ball went past him. It's coming back for the Tigers. Daniel Rioli, 8-metre kick. Prestia. Handball to Edwards. Handball now to Broad. Kicks it inside 50. Spoiled. And the Suns should get away here through Tuke-Miller. No, he's tackled. Ball at ground level. Arts. He has a shot. And he puts it wide. That's not one for the archives. But boy, that was attritional stuff. 91 plays 68, 23 points the margin, the Tigers.
There's a fair bit of speed wobble going on here from everyone involved. As here goes Atkins off half-back. The chip towards the wing, gathered on the bounce by Holman. He's hurt his shoulder in that. Just got a hand pass away back to Atkins. Off follow the ball. Anyway, Atkins has chipped it to Wainsworth. Kick inside 50, mark by Chol. No, play on. Rode by Sharp. 35 metres out. Miss hits his snap. It's across the face. It'll hold on.
Free kick.
Free kick. Downfield. Sharp got barreled up. He got rid of his kick. And I think it's going to be
Casper.
Big Levi, is it?
Yeah.
Or Day?
Day, I think.
Free kick to Gold Coast at Sam Day.
Why do you kick around the corner, Q? Run straight at the goals, have a shot straight at the goals. Why do these kids try to kick around the corner from 35?
Day's got to kick this. The Suns need 4 unanswered if they're to pinch it. Here's one of them. He's got it. From straight in front, Day kicks the goal. That's 17 the dip. With 7.5 to play, Richmond 13-13, 91, Gold Coast 11-8, 74.
Well, have a look. The Holman effort was great. I think his shoulder looks like it might have popped out a bit. He's got that much strapping on, and I'm surprised that it came out. But then the second effort there again. But the defensive pressure, which actually was quite good for Richmond there, but unfortunately gave away the free kick, Whitey, and a pretty easy shot on goal. But good work from Gold Coast. He's just hanging in there.
Yeah, they're just hanging in there, but they're taking it on. That's what I really like. They're not going... Since half-time, they haven't gone their shell. They were down by 40 points at one stage. They could have easily gone their shell. They've gone, nah, you know what, we're going to try and take a risk here, try and play on, try and create some movement up forward, and that's what they've been able to do.
Need this clearance, boys. Need the Gold Coast.
Daniel Rioli up to 30 disposals. Bolton with 26 and 6 clearances for Richmond. Ellis with 26 for the Gold Coast. And Tuke-Miller with 25 and 12 clearances. We get back into the middle. Soldo gathers around his feet and he's knocked straight over onto
his moustache.
His moustache, definitely. It was top heavy. So the umpire comes in and throws it straight back up. Witts versus Soldo. The ball hit the ground before it was touched by the ruckman. Miller picked it up. Tuke-Miller for the Suns. It's towed inside 50 for the Suns. Gathered by Grimes now. The ball goes over there to Broad. He delivers a nice little pass to find Baker at right half back for the Tigers. They're out.
Goal for the Tigers will be enough, you'd reckon. 17 the lead. Kick to the wing in a contest. Dow underneath is tackled by Rowell. Have it tossed in the air. Richmond led by 12 points at quarter time, 34 at half time. They did get out by 39 or 40 points, should I say, early in that third term. Stoppage on the outer side, clearance for the Suns. Witts kicks it to half forward. Grimes comes out, had it, couldn't complete the mark. Rode by Casbolt. Ham passes to Ainsworth. Left foot kick to the goal mouth. Marked by Broad. Going back for the Tigers.
He eats those for breakfast, Nathan Broad. He will just do that every day.
So well. He knew what was going on. Read really well.
Jeff White with Jason Ackermanis, your experts here on Grandstand AFL. A kick out from the Suns is cut off. From the Tigers is cut off there by McIntosh in front of Sharp. Wheels around onto his right foot to the wing. Collins versus Rewald.
Free kick.
And Jack's given one away. I love the way he looks at the umpire and says, me? I couldn't have possibly done that, says Jack. As Sam goes into the middle of the field, into the corridor, and turnover, Tiger time. It's Bolton. He chips it inside 50. Castagna off to the races. And he took it too casually. How about that from Charlie Ballard.
The smother of the year.
That is one of the great smothers in AFL footy, and Jason Castagna gets some rear-view mirrors, sunshine, because that was not good. 92-74, 18 points the margin in favour of the Tigers.
It's an important point. Among all of that, 3 goals the diff. What a play from Ballard. Long kick in, marked by Witts near the wing. He kicks the Suns to half forward. Ainsworth takes the grab. Hand pass to Oyer, who's out. 55 from goal. Kick inboard to Holman. Marks at 40 from goal.
Boy, oh boy, that could be a game-saving and possibly winning effort there.
Charlie Ballard's smother will be shown by defensive coaches for as long as football is played.
Never give up on the contest.
And from miles away too.
And it keeps the Suns in the fight. 5 minutes and change on the clock. 3 goals neath the diff. Holman from 45, left foot strike. Right to the line. Punch through for a point.
Jeez, they needed that, I tell you.
17 the diff at 92 to 75.
Tigers bring the ball back out. It's with Marlon Pickett, left back pocket. Under the small scoreboard, seeing the Tigers still holding on by less than 3 goals. It's with Liam Baker at left half back, right on the paint of 50. Oh, it's an 8-metre kick at best that found Jack Graham in front of Casbolt. Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh my God.
I wouldn't be buying real estate there from Lee Fisher as the ball comes down. Bounced by Jack Graham, long kick towards half forward. And there he is, Charlie Ballard. Had some kind of defensive game. Takes the mark, goes back inside defensive 50 and finds Atkins.
And this is not the play. Someone needs to tell him there's not enough time to muck around with it now.
Play on.
Suns have got to roll the dice. Atkins runs around Castagna. Kicks down the middle of the ground to Rowell. Takes the mark under the late arriving pressure from Short. And then 50. Short tapped the ball out of his hands.
Dumb.
And Rowell will be, 40 metres out, depending on the price of real estate from this up.
He's going to give him a long one too, so he should.
Rowell's got to kick this. He doesn't really want to...
No, kick it.
He was going to dish off for a moment to Lukosius, but now Rowell's got to go back.
This is what makes midfielders great midfielders.
4 minutes on the clock, 17 the difference. Man on the mark, 40 metres out. Matt Rowell needs to kick this to keep the Suns a chance of pinching this on his right boot. Wonderful strike! 11 the diff. 3 minutes and 46 seconds to play. Tigers holding on.
I don't have to say it, Acker. Centre bounce. Centre bounce.
Well, this is the universe maybe giving them a chance to even up, losing those couple of close games. They are keeping themselves in it. It's been such a good second half.
This is where they've got to get. There's Took Miller, who's Noah Anderson and Rao and Witts. That's their gun. That's their one Woods. Line them up.
Yep.
Put them in. Boys, this is us.
Put them in. When it. The one thing I want to see is Charlie actually stand in front of his opponent. He likes to run from behind, but he needs to get in front.
Can Richmond hold on?
Less than 4 minutes to go. Richmond by 11 points. Back into the middle. Soldo gets it down. It's the clearance by Bolton. Inside 50, Rewalt gives away. Well, that is...
Oh, yes.
It's got to be an unrealistic attempt. It was.
But if he took it, wow.
If he took it, it's mark of the century. This Collins kicks it to the outer wing. Edwards versus Witts. Witts gathers, does nicely, gives it to Sharp, back to Witts. On the left foot, the big ruckman's turned it over. Robbie Tarrant, who's had a cracking game for Richmond, took the mark.
On half back and plays on. High kick down the Nerang River wing. Witts is tracking, Witts is marking for Gold Coast. And he plays on quickly with a hand pass to Lukosius, kicking infield, looking for Oya, went through his hands. Chance out the back for Short of Richmond. Under pressure, got his boot to it. Prestia had a handle, had a fumble. Dan Rioli's hand pass indiscriminate. Picked up by Rowell, tackled by Prestia. Got the hand pass over to Holman. Gives to Miller from 60. Miller's kicked to Ainsworth. Marks it 20 metres out.
Wow.
Straight in front.
Slight angle. But what a play from the back line. They're just surging it forward. Again, Rao, what about that broken tackle?
But it's a defence that getting the turnover on the wing. They haven't been able to do that in the first half.
It's 4-1 to the Suns in this term.
I like him from here.
Richmond turn for home, 28 points in front. This from Ben Ainsworth to make it 5 points to diff with 2.5 to play. He approaches from 20, strikes with his right. And misses to the right by a sliver. It's a behind. 10 points the difference.
Still, 2 minutes.
Misses to the right on the set shot from Ben Ainsworth. And it's the Tigers by 10 points.
Richmond bring the ball back in. It's Ben Graham. Kicks it. Ben Miller, I should say. Ben Graham. Yeah, that's a bit of memory. Down the outer side, over the boundary line. We'll get a throw in.
Ben Graham, was that the Hawthorn Ben Graham?
Oh, well, it could have been the Geelong one who went over
Geelong,
no. Could have been anything. On the outer side, here we are at Carrara. Witts versus Soldo. Witts gets it down. Took Miller, tackled into the ground by Prestia. Ball's loose. It's hacked down the outer side by the Tigers. Rewalt confronted by Ballard. Ballard drops the mark. Cumberland now gets involved for the Tigers. Handball Castagna. He's tackled. He's got the ball underneath him. The umpire circles and says we'll ball it up between wing and half forward on the outer side.
A minute and 46 seconds left. 10 points the lead to Richmond. Ball up on the edge of the centre square. Underneath Prestia, Burrows tries to draw a free kick or at least a secondary ball up. He's got the second option there, and it takes a few more precious seconds off the clock. Suns beaten by 5 points here last week, 2 points in Adelaide the week before. Here comes Miller through the stoppage, tunnelling it forward for the Suns. Free kick going to Day, pushed off the ball by Miller.
Get it in.
Sam Day next to the bullseye. A minute and 24 seconds left. Kicks it to full forward. Out the back, Charles had a fumble, has a second fumble, kicks it through for a goal. 4 points the difference. A minute and 13 seconds left. That was the ugliest, most beautiful 6 points that Matt Charles ever produced.
Oh my God. He
stumbled.
He did everything. He did everything not to kick it.
That was the baby elephant walk from Daddy Joel.
He's like, stop, I'm not picking it up. He just kicked it from a foot out.
No, it's a baby giraffe there, Q. Look at that. Oh, wow.
That was amazing.
1 minute and 13 seconds left. Gold Coast has kicked 5 goals to 1 in this quarter. Richmond lead by 4 points at 13-14-92 to 13-10-88.
How big's this clearance here?
Oh, my God.
Centre bounce clearances 12-11 in favour of the Gold Coast. Clearances in general 39-34. Into the middle of Carrara, it's an ordinary bounce. Soldo smacks it down, picked up by Witts, got the handball out, and it's cut off there by Short. Half smothered, the ball still in the centre square. Bolton has it, his kick is high, Lukosius, the double grabber, not paid, ball spills. Enter Matt Rowell, towed off the deck by Ballard, ricochets to half back. Now it's gathered by Ainsworth. He kicks long down the wing. Bowes, spoiled, gathers. Now it's a high kick to half forward for the Suns. Chol at the back. Grimes drops it. Ground level. Now it's picked up Casbolt. Out the side. Oya, the Papua New Guinean. Holman on the left foot. Across the face of goal. Day takes a mark. He plays on, kicks it back. Oh my goodness, it's a mark to the Gold Coast.
Anderson.
Noah Anderson, 45 metres out. It's a 45-degree angle to the right.
Oh,
he needs to kick this. There is 15 seconds left to go.
He'll kick it after the siren here, I reckon, Pricey.
The Tigers lead by 4 points. Noah Anderson. It's all riding on the young man's shoulders. The number 2 draft pick from 2019. Siren goes. Here he comes. Anderson comes in. The right foot. It's good. Suns win. Oh, what a game. One of the great wins the Gold Coast has ever produced in the AFL. Over the Tigers by 2 points. What a game of footy. Oh, Q.
In the week that their short-term future has been entrusted with Stuart Dew, the Suns show that they're playing for him. From 40 points down, the locals sing the song at Carrara. And it's Noah Anderson, the star at the end. We play to win the flag for you. Fight, 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 till we hold on the ground. Run, 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 all the way. Hey! We are the sons of the Gold Coast sky. We're the team who never say die. Hey! 2 boxes to our right is the Gold Coast Suns coaching box. Whitey, we saw it, the hugs, the high fives, the fist pumps. It's a season's kept alive by the Suns, and well, it's a dent for the Tigers. That's the other part of the story, of course.
I've seen some wins here before, Q. That's the best win ever here at Carrara.
Wow.
They're down by 40 points. Season's on the line. Defining moment in the history of the Gold Coast Suns.
We are the sons of the Gold Coast sky. We are one in the red, gold and blue. We are the mighty Gold Coast Suns. We play to win the flag for you. Fight, 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 till we hold on the ground. Run, 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 all the way. Hey! We are the sons of the Gold Coast sky. We're the team who never say die. Let's
goals to 1 in the final term for Gold Coast. They stay in the fight to play finals for the first time. They're 8-8. The Tigers, well, they've just slipped to the back of the peloton there, still among the main group, but at 9-7, 4 points that looked locked away when they led by 40 points at the start of the third term has been stolen by a massive charge for the Suns. I don't know whether there's footy karma or you believe in that type of stuff, Jason Akermanis and Jeff White, but there's an argument to say they were due one after the last couple of weeks.
Yeah,
their last 3 games have been less than a kick, having lost by 2 points in Adelaide to Port, by 5 points here last week to the Magpies, and they pinched one against the Tigers.
But in the way they did it, Q, they're 40 points down, and there was a different team in that second half, and I just really want to show praise to number 10, Charlie Ballard. Castagna's going to run into an open goal with 3 minutes to go to put him up by what?
3 goals.
3 goals.
Yep.
Yeah, that would have been from 17 points to 25 points, as it was. So it would have been to 23 points, as it was the smother made it 18 points to Div.
And you called it, Q. You said that could be the smother that wins them the game. And it was. Defining moment in... unbelievable.
You're going to try and find some votes after that as well.
Yeah, I think you know, the other part of that was that they had other options, even though they did get that kick after the siren. But
inside their forward 50, they
were out. But boy, oh boy, I think we said at half-time, everything we said that they needed to do, they did it in spades. The midfield got on top. They came through more attacking, got the run from behind, got the handball receives, one-on-one inside the forward 50. Defensive pressure, awesome.
It's never as simple as this, but, gee, won't the scribes and won't those that have got the romanticism of the story of football at heart love the fact that in the week that the Suns, who have struggled for a decade to look like they're going anywhere, but frustration and down the bottom of a financial well for the AFL, they've entrusted the next part of their future to their coach, Stuart Dew, and the team has responded in such a manner against the team that's been the benchmark of the last 5 or 6 years of AFL football.
That first half from Richmond was, we said it was premiership year. When they had their premiership years, that was the footy they played. To come out the way they did, the Suns in that third quarter, they looked like they were, you know, even though they dug into the deficit by what, I think it was like 4 points or whatever it was, and they still stuck at it, and what an amazing finish.
And the last quarter effort there from Noah Anderson, 8 disposals, a couple of tackles, a couple of inside 50s, and a couple of vital goals as well.
I better give the goal kickers, I haven't done that.
Is that Ainsworth as well was very good all game.
8 disposals in the last quarter for Ben Ainsworth as well.
Anderson kicked 2 last quarter goals. Also goals to...
You want the whole...
the whole game. Sorry. Chol with 3, Ainsworth 2, Anderson 2, Holman, Swallow, Day, Rao, Tuke Miller, Fiorini and Oye kicks goals for the Tigers. Bolton 3, Revolt 3, Cumberland 2, and singles to Arts, Pickett, Edwards, Short and Graham. We are on the quick fly around the place. We've got Port and Greater Western Sydney coming up, St Kilda versus Fremantle as well. If you're with us around Rugby League Network, we're taking you to either West Tigers versus Parramatta. Of course, there's a call of the rugby coming up tonight, Australia versus England. Have you got some votes? Have you got some votes, please?
We're just doing it. We're just doing it and agreeing. That's what we do. That's what teams do. Agreeing.
Yeah.
That was a tough game. Tough game to pick.
Well, when we said it at half-time, we said that where is the response from the Suns here? Because they were being handsomely outplayed, and what a response it's been.
Yeah, unbelievable. And just everyone lifted for the Suns.
Across the board.
Just incredible.
Midfield, everywhere. They were much better.
Unbelievable game. Votes?
Yes, please.
1 vote to Ballard. That smother, best of the year. But it's going to be
that's
folklore.
Peter Bazzasto on back in the 80s smother, that one. That's magnificent.
We thought Ainsworth was outstanding all night. Just his ability to win the footy, even when the Suns weren't going that well. I think he had, 9 possessions in the first quarter. And 3 votes. Look, he could have given it to anyone, but Shea Bolton was outstanding for Richmond. He really gave them everything. But credit to and look, special mentions to a couple of the Suns players in Took Miller and Noah Anderson, of course, for kicking them in a goal.
So 8-8 now, the Suns. They got the Bombers at Docklands next week before a Q clash, which promises to be the best Q clash of recent times up the road at the Gabba in a couple of weeks. And who knows who's going to be able to play for Brisbane next week, let alone tomorrow.
They'll be right.
They've got a number of COVID cases before tomorrow's game against the Bombers. The Tigers, well, they play North, who are 28 points ahead of Collingwood earlier today before going down by 7. North and Freo, their next 2. Wow.
What a game. What a game. See, you would have left at half-time if you saw the way that the Suns played in the second quarter.
And just beneath us, the Suns are now walking into the rooms.
Got Tony Cochran.
Chairman Cochran's there as well. And just to reiterate again, our broadcast position is literally 2 to the left of where Stuart Dew in his coaching box sits. And we were able to see through the glass the absolute scenes of jubilation in that coaching box when Noah Anderson's right foot drop punt sailed through truly from 30 metres out.
Oh, and Q, you just love to see that emotion. I know that listeners, but you might see it on the replay, but the coach's box was unbelievable.
Oh, they were up and about. There. They knew that was going to be after the siren. You could just see them. They were all standing up going, tell him to wait and kick it.
And we were right behind that kick.
Right behind it.
What a great kick.
Looked a bit left.
Looked a little bit
but
left.
then wobbled and straightened.
Yeah.
Went on his
certainly wasn't the truest off the boot, but it went through, and now the charge of the Light Brigade will kick to kick after all of that. Depending on where you are going this evening, enjoy either the league or your choice of AFL games. Remember that Wimbledon final, the women's singles tonight, the men's tomorrow night coming. Rugby's on. All of the choices yours on Grandstand ABC Sport tonight. But we will farewell you from Carrara, still humming to the tune of a Gold Coast come from